Why, yes, Grimspecs, I did read your email. Hi. Let me switch over real quick here. There we go. Hello. Welcome back to MaGMML3 playthrough. We are about to start up tier 15. Or tier 14. My bad. We're not quite there at the end yet. And, I've just been told that I'm heading to a gym? Is that how it's pronounced? Or maybe it's pronounced Gaim. I don't know. I've never really been to one, so I don't really know what to expect at this point. But I guess we can, you know, bust right in and hope right for the best, right? Hello, my Skibbity Sigmas, indeed. What's up, my Fortnite Ohioans? Let's see, I made a crash because living here is finally... without revealing as much about yourself do you want, where would that be? And, hey, it is going fairly well. It was a pretty busy weekend, to be quite honest. While there was no clipping to be done, I did do just an absolute hell of a lot of, cleaning around the house. Let's read some dialogue first before we get into my weekend. So, this is where Ernest expects us to train. I'm not particularly impressed. True strength comes from the desire to pursue a cause, not from punching cloth over and over. I'll have you know, it's canvas over- wait, shit, no, I've never been to a gym. I've heard tales of dummies here taking a life of their own, however. Perhaps they too have desires. I'm guessing that theirs is some effect of, I want to leave as soon as possible. Put your head rent-free. Hope you don't mind being short 200 gigs. I've got several terabytes. It's fine. I have the space to spare. Oh, another world-class gym. This is one of the most cutthroat gauntlets. You'll find plenty of challengers training here and high-quality simulations to tackle. Just remember to keep it cool. Shouldn't it be keep it chill? And not to break the gym equipment. It's not that hard to repair, but it's kind of annoying. You probably don't repair it anyways. Repairman is, you know, rushing around this entire campgrounds. That's his only way of getting paid. Also, there's just E-tanks at the... I guess that's a good energy drink thing, but I don't feel like that's healthy. Fangame Factory. Oh, by Jupiter Hornet. Hold on, I'm excited now. I loved pairing Jupiter Hornet with La Mulana music in the last game, so this ought to be quite good. But anyways, yeah, so my weekend was full of a lot of cleaning my house from top to bottom. Maybe not quite that extensive, but it sure felt like it. Possibly the grossest part of it in total was, I decided to clean my AC units. You know, currently my location is, no longer in summer hell weather anymore. So, I, no longer needed to keep my AC blasting at all times. And since we're right before winter hell begins, I decided now would be a good time to clean out my, 2 little wall-mounted AC units. And boy, oh boy, was it gross. Didn't look that bad at first, but once I actually, like, brought the, little dust filters out to the tub to actually wash with them, it was kind of like, I just tried thinking, oh, well, you know, it's just dust, I can run it off with water. No, this was, like, clumping together. It was very clear, it was hydrophobic. It was clearly full of oil, so when I actually put soap on there to wash it, it turned into a horrifying clay made out of dust, germs, and other assorted oils and debris. Just thought I'd share that horror with you. I thought to take a picture, but by that time it was like, oh wait, no, I had already cleaned it. I'd forgotten. So, you get to save your stomachs today. Shit in Detroit or London. Yeah, that's true. Between the knives and the guns, you know, you're not gonna have anything left. Tried to play this, but it's not working. I need an additional program to run MaGMML3.exe. You shouldn't. I just downloaded the thing, and it should work just fine. Okay, so OS was 10. Let's take a bit of look. Yeah, it does. I will have noticed. Yeah, it can take some time to actually boot up. Like I have spent maybe about, at most, maybe a minute waiting for this thing to actually be able to launch. But you should just be able to run it directly from the executable. Maybe if anything, there's like I'm pretty sure there's like a README on the website to actually figure out how to download it. Maybe, you know, Game Maker has to come with it, or maybe there's like a, you know, latest version of Windows C or C++ or something like that you have to put on there. But it should just be, you know, its own thing. Let's see. Other things I ended up doing this weekend was regarding the lines of cleaning. Let's see. So, you know, standard vacuuming, laundry, scrubbed out the tub. There was a wonderful film of beige in there that needed to go, so spent time doing that. Ooh, I see. I see. Puzzle room. So actually, I should probably go through the bottom path. Yeah. All right, now let the Susie get out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh? This is a fun level. I am enjoying this thoroughly. The graphics are beautiful. I'll just take damage, fuck it. Graphics are beautiful. The puzzles are nice. These ballet missiles honestly don't really get used that well, I find, so this is actually a pretty cool application of them. Sniper Joes I'm maybe not the biggest fan of, and, you know, Susie's are a bit generic in the enemy set, but, you know, they've had decent challenges with the conveyor belts and other obstacles so far, so it's a good start. And I'm surprised how many people are just getting something out of these very simple lift platforms. But it's working out. Even if this might just be a repeat of the challenges from Mega Man 10 and Gravity Man, or not Gravity Man, Gyro Man. Although a much longer version. Yikes. I could see that being a bit too hard for some people, but oh, ooh, that's atmospheric. No music drop yet? Come on. Oh, hell yeah. All right. Good environmental storytelling. And I love the change from dawn to probably dusk now. Big game, blah, blah. Running at nothing opens, tried. Oops. The program on your PC that comes in conflicts with it. Yeah, that's a unique one. And if you, I mean, there is a MaGMML Discord. There might be some people who have more knowledge of, you know, the game to help. I mean, I obviously wouldn't just go immediately going to the bug report server, but, you know, if there's just a general discussion being like, hey, I'm having trouble getting certain things to work. Does anybody else know about this kind of issue? That might be a good place to start. Ah, I see. It's hard to actually slip through that. Easy to slip the hell down there, though. Task manager, it's running, gets suspended, and then ends the process. Huh. Interesting. It did the Komoso Temple from MaGMML3 after all. Oh, well. Good stuff, yeah. And Jupi Hornet, I think, has a pretty good sense of level design, so I'm not surprised this level is coming out as competent as it is. It's still amazing just how strong... To me, it's just amazing how strong the connection is between Nextrine by Jupi Hornet and the that one La Mulana song where the Tale of the Giants is. Like, the MaGMML2 Great Maze has done so much for my brain. So many things are rooted directly into that, and how good the remake of it was, how it's a great reference to Brawl. It's like, anytime I think of Smash Bros. Brawl, I immediately start thinking of MaGMML2. It did such a good job at combining the concepts. But it's... okay, that's a little weird with the gimmicks. Like, in the earlier screens, these did not fall when the missiles broke, but now they do fall. I mean, it's not like it's in a critical location, but it is a little bit strange. Hey, Eddie. Alright, thanks, Eddie. Giving me the average player RNG, huh? Oh, wow, this is close. Okay, I'm shocked I did that first try. Oh yeah, I forgot. Coolest, I saw your comment there. Have you ever played a Buster only, no items run of any Mega Man game? I tend to try to do that a lot, actually. Well, okay, maybe not try to do that a lot anymore, but I have done that before for at least a couple of the games. It's been a while since I've actually tried it out, but I know I've done that for at least, like, probably Mega Man 4? I've played it so much. That would be the one I would have to guess if I had to just kind of, you know, spitball one. I would never try a no damage challenge, though. That just isn't fun. Oh, hey, it's that, bullet guy. I don't... from the Wonder Swan game. I wonder who I'm going to fight now. I will say, the maybe one thing that was a little disappointing about this level was the lack of maybe themed gimmicks, or any gimmicks that had to do with the stage theme. Because so far, the stage theme really just felt like it was screaming like oil field to me, and I was a little bit disappointed to not see any like kind of, you know, industrial or fire-based things. It's definitely good with what it has, but it also just felt, I don't know, a little bit disconnected on that aspect. I guess the platforms kind of build into the industrial aspect, but I've seen them so many times in different applications, it just doesn't quite line up. And also there at the end, was it Dangan Man? Yeah, Dangan Man. You know, just a lone Dangan Man fight brings things down a little bit. Something extra there would have been cool. On 100 points on Mega Man Z stage, and my controller broke at C4 and it just stopped. That's pretty impressive, though. I don't know if I have the patience to quite do 100 points for everything, but I was getting pretty far in my attempts to do Mega Man 0-1 and 0-2 with 100, with at least S ranks on everything, trying to get 98 points or so. There is technically one VOD of that on my channel, of me trying to do that in 0-2. It's not a good VOD. I don't recommend watching it because I have nothing to say, but it's there. I do plan to pick that up again one day because I think it would be fun to at least do an S rank run for that game without looking into like guides or anything like that. Just trying to figure it out on my own and document my kind of practice process for it. I will say, of all the Mega Man Zero games, 0-4 is probably my favorite, so that's the one that I actually bothered starting to do S ranks on. Now, all 100 points is okay to post an Imgur link. You could try. I don't know if it'll necessarily work. I don't remember my settings that well. Dangan Man, hence the title of Dangan Factory. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, the name didn't stick in my head. I probably should have figured that one out. I probably read it and then completely may leave my brain. Okay, say first impressions are one of the most important things for communication. Dangan Factory makes an excellent one. Excellent mid-level impression. The best signals that yes, the gloves are off. Good use of its assets. At the same time, our Machine Gun Joe makes an obstacle he's not required to kill, and the Susie an effective slowdown opponent. That said, there's no real theme to these enemies or gimmicks. Yep, it just kind of turns a little generic, outside of the really, really slick transition from day to night. Little indistinct blob. Yeah, I can see that. Bomb flashes up in the second half. Shame as he's the most thematic opponent here. I remember that one at least. The real flaw, the only time I really noticed the difficulty curve was the halfway aesthetic transition. Otherwise, the sheer amount of spikes disguises the difficulty variety, which hurts both the level's curve and memorability. Yeah, I guess most of the difficulty in this level is instant death. Earlier sections threaten you more with just screw up and use the platform, whereas later sections actually try to skewer you, plus the spike amount is never truly unfair. That said, a level can't become deadly if it already starts deadly. Beyond that, while the opening and midpoint are all around excellent, the ending's a bit of a letdown. There's no real climax before we reach the boss. Stark contrast with the impressive spike elevator halfway through the level. Gameplay just kind of ends. Yeah. Just a Dangan Man is a little bit of a waste. It could have been nice. Have some corpses falling on me or something. Add some attacks for him. Make him exciting. Who named that? Named what? Dangan Man? It doesn't feel natural, does it? I don't know who named it, but it probably didn't get the full translation love it deserved. Not appear to work. Damn. Oh well. Well, I'll believe you. It's fine. There you go. Japanese for bullet. That makes sense. Oh, that reminds me so much. Me and my friend Alan, who showed up in chat every once in a while, I've been watching him play through the original NES Mega Man games through the Legacy collection. And when he beat Mega Man 2, he went and looked through the art book, and there's like a old concept for like 357 Magnum Man. It's just a fucking revolver robot in there. It was very entertaining. We all get a good laugh out of that to this day. Just where it's like, yeah, Mega Man's just fighting big gun. It's a very solid level altogether. It doesn't do anything too flashy, save for its aesthetics. Visually, it's very wonderful. Absolute contender for one of the best looking stages. Stage design isn't anything too complicated, but it does manage to stand out. Yeah. Of course, there are a few parts here and there where the enemies didn't mesh all that well with the room layouts. Run past some blicky bombs. Machine gun Joes early on. It does become less of an issue as the stage goes on. Difficulty progression is even. The elevator. There's not a whole lot of leeway. We're squeezing into some of the final gaps and the spikes there, but thankfully there's a checkpoint afterwards to help mitigate this a bit. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it could be tough, but it's not out of line with the Mega Man series. One final issue with this level regarding its ending. Normally I don't knock the use of dead kit bosses, but this one's a special case. Yeah, the ominous build-up also really makes me think there's going to be something crazy there, but nope, just another Dangan Man. Ultimately, despite that one major fumble at the end, did enjoying this level. Yeah, the level was still fun to play. I definitely, and the theming, is at least made it memorable for me. I'll remember the cloud elevator, because that was really cool. Although I will say, as I'm reading the judge comments, I'm also starting to realize not only the enemies feel generic, a lot of them are also just shielded, which is annoying. No one likes having to fight a million shielded enemies. Challenge of the Future was never localized, hence why the Roman Master names. Yeah. Let's see. What a beautiful stage. The aesthetics, dynamic changes are all excellently crafted. Super Mario Brothers-like platforms are a simple gimmick, but the stage really squeezed to its full potential. Difficulty's just right. The platforming felt fair. Tokens challenges are sweet and short. Good. Most assets here from the base engine as well, so unmodified, yeah, getting this high is pretty sweet. The music's a bit unnerving. Yeah, I don't know. That feels normal. I also find quite amusing with the fact that the hallway before the boss gives off such an eerie vibe, thanks to the silence and ominous backdrop. Only to be subverted completely with the goofy design of Dangan Man. Oh, there are a bunch of Dangan men in the background. It's not exactly that big of a subversion. This isn't Megamind here. This is how you do level design. Thoughtfully, deliberately, pick a theme and stick with it. Show the player something new, then test them on it. Gradually ramp up the difficulty and complexity, make every object count, anticipate what the player will need a break, a power-up, a chance to reset the room. Let's see. Yeah, so tell a story without saying a word. I mean, the only story is really we went into a factory, it went from day to night, and then we fought Dangan Man, but I feel like there's maybe a couple threads needed to actually close this book. The layout's intuitive, and I appreciate how the one token path loops back to the main path. Learning curves incredibly smooth, smaller challenge arcs, expertly layered over top of one long challenge arc. The level never feels too long, agreed. Familiar setups, intermingle with rather innovative ones, hurry up the line of platforms, watch your aim or you'll destroy the floor. Particularly partial to the missile puzzle with the invincible blocks. That was cool, and it was a very good use of those blocks that are otherwise kind of, just cannon fodder. Technical complaints are minor, invincible blocks are inconsistently affected by gravity, the wonky elevator shaft is some wonky invisible collision. Overbearing pitch bends in the Mega Man soccer cover. Oh, okay, we're talking about music. Took me a second there. Jarringly unappealing boss theme, take away from a soundscape that is otherwise masterful. Yeah, there was something a little off about the boss theme, but it isn't interrupting my fun. Gorgeous graphics and memorable set pieces get my hopes up for a couple surprises that never arrive. There are no secrets hidden in the clouds, and the awesomely ominous junkyard at the end culminates in regular Dangan Man. Fine, but disappointing. Whoops, uh-oh. Got rid of the 360 controller, and I'm still managing to press the wrong thing. Even if a few creative aesthetic elements keep you from being more than modestly blown away, I respect the heck out of this level. More like this, please. Agreed. I do agree. Aircon Man kind of slaps, even though it is a weird mistranslation. Well, not mistranslation, like direct transcription. Direct transcription. It does kind of fuck. There's just something that, it's nice and short and has good hard syllables in there. Of a double robot master, not counting Gemini Man, since it has clock men. Very weird game. Yeah, I think that probably is the only one. Neat. This level really takes too long to get going. The first half offers the oh god, 54 Ace Spark. Come on. First half offers little in the way of originality. Challenge and fails to engage the player at all. Enemy selection does not help. I mean, okay, yeah, the enemies are not great, but they're not horrible either. Explosive platforms almost felt like an afterthought. What? I mean, sort of in the main path, but like not entirely. You still had to actually put yourself in dangerous positions, like a 1-block conveyor belt, or on the moving platforms to get them out of the way. Club token in the room before it are the first signs of life in the level and catch the player off guard. What? This segment was neat, the spikes blended in a bit too much. That is fair. The dark black spikes without any border were kind of hard to see. Transition to the clouds was surprising. You say that like it's a bad thing? The second half of the level hit it, and suddenly got quite a bit better. The vertical platform use became more challenging. Use of explosive platforms was more intelligent. Well, yeah, it's like starting and, working its way up to something. Maybe stopped being time wasters and felt like there was a bit of flow for the first time. The atmosphere in this segment is much stronger than the first half, though ending on Danganman is a bit underwhelming. Looking quite generic, the aesthetics were usually really strong here, and I've always had a soft spot for Mega Man Soccer and X6 music. Alright, another deranged take from Ace Spark, but sure. No slacking off here on my part. I'm always on the grind, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Oh, you poor child, you're never going to get ahead in life. I'm strengthening the alloys of my body so I can crush anyone into dust just by ramming into them. Oh, hey, Spear Guy. I've heard that only the best of the best train here, so I've come here to improve my skills, and the tournament contestants that come here fit right in with the legends I've heard. Not just you, but others too. Cerberus Man, Forge Woman, Hunter Woman, and even Element Man. Conveniently all of the robot masters that are being said that they are competing against me. What power? Oh wait, you forgot Presto. Don't forget Presto, no! Oh, wait, Presto's a loser though. Excellent, based. I see why Ilvo has you on his fucking stream borders. Flip the map of the US if it looks like a whale. True. With the penis and all. Dotting off yet another gets baffled by Ace opinion of the list. Yeah, certainly. It was cute. Oh dear. Oh no, I'm blushing. I'm trying to get better about just doing the weird streamer shit that people actually tend to get accustomed to. Because, on one hand, I am a little bit self-conscious about, making odd noises, as most human beings in society are. But, I also think, well, hold on, I'm listening to X streamer, I'm listening to Simple Flips, or Vinny, or Joel make weird noises. Those are funny, those are entertaining even. I should do that more often. I don't know how well it translates over my mic, but at the very least, it's there. A very Germa-core of you. True. I don't know if I could quite ever emulate Germa, though. That man's a human sound machine. It can kind of go... but it's not nearly as good as his. Also, this level is very pretty. I love the aesthetics here. Oh, this is... Okay, good. Sweet, I like that challenge. It's in plain sight, but just one you have to think of and execute well. And it flows so well with the level geometry. Goodbye. Nice, okay. Let's see. I talked about my weekend a while ago. Anybody else have some weekend stories they'd like to share? Anything fun happen to them? They appreciate also the fact that outside of the Ravens, everything so far is skull-themed, which is, very wily coded of the level. But that's also, appreciable still. Although, of course, somehow Ace Spark will come up with saying, actually, having all skull-themed robots makes this just seem like a Wily Castle, and that's bad. It's too generic. Oh, another episode of Why Is This On Your Recommended? Oh, this is gonna be good. Get out of the screen. Yakko's World War Animaniacs, but fascism? Elaborate? Maybe just the fascistic countries out there? Has to be 28 for making a level that didn't get DQ'd this time around. True. What, Oh, wait a minute. Hey, these shadows are actually copying my model. That's unique. That means those are actually... that means those are actually custom programmed. Because, I don't believe they did that in the other stages. They were just Mega Man shadow clones. Is this fucking wall devil? This is creepy, but like also really cool. I love this. Although maybe a little bit too invincible for my taste, but we gotta love that. Oh well, not too bad. And now you. Great. Okay. Left Denmark this week. All right. I hope you had a good trip, seeing family and seeing the country out there. That's cool stuff. Finished playing through Equinox, a Doom mod, over the weekend. It's a mixed bag for sure, but to say maps 9 and 10 are really good. All right. Solid stuff. I did watch, on the topic of Doom, I did watch Decino's latest video on Quake, which that, for those who don't know Decino's channel, doesn't make any sense, but he does normally do Doom content, and so I watched his Quake shotgun-only video. Or not shotgun only, but shotgun start video. That was entertaining. It was a little bit surprising how... Maybe not surprising, but... It was just an interesting kind of twist where it's like, oh, actually most of these levels are fine without the shotgun start. Or fine with just a shotgun start. The problems usually just come in when there's, like, zombies everywhere, because that's the only enemy that, like, requires weird technical skill to take down. New League boss, Wall Devil. That's the boss from Mega Man Home Improvement, the spin-off where Tim Allen is actually the final, the doctor behind everything. Map Toad's actually trash, couldn't finish it without God mode, no clipping. Oh, jeez. Yeah, you know. It's almost like some level creators get just a little bit too cute with what they want to do at the end. They think, this is totally fine, but then they don't realize that, you know, without other playtesters, things go off the rails. I wonder what kind of game that happens in. I am starting to notice the Skeleton Joes are getting less threatening as we go on through this level, which is kind of unfortunate. Like, they were in pretty good positions before this, but now they're kind of, like, just out of the way entirely. Oops, wrong one. Oh, this is tough. Okay. Oh, very tough. All right. I get the idea, though. Thankfully, it's only 2 platforms in length. That's not too difficult. Good one who's never played Doom. I've never played Doom either, but I plan to. That'll probably be one of the next things that I do. I think probably after this. I mean, MaGMML3 is still probably going to take a while to get done with, but once we're done with it, I'm pretty sure the next things I'm doing are probably X6, / other X games. Or other X games, starting with X6, because that's the last one I have not played. Or the first one in the series I have not played. Then moving on to 7 and 8. And then probably after, on Tuesdays, I'll probably move into Doom. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so I can just slide effectively. Oh, okay. Whoa. Alright, not that bad. Gotta take a couple of... Oh, that's kind of bad. That's soft lock potential. I mean, not exactly. There's spikes everywhere, but still. Let's see, as your agony... Oops. As your agony is actually pain without carrying over weapons. Yeah, I can imagine. Wasn't that the level with the, I think that was the level he talked about with the stupid, like, you have to telefrag, like, 6 zombies, and 2 of them are, like, in a random area? Or is that the one where you had to, like, perfectly only had a couple seconds left to kill 12 zombies with quad damage. I can't remember which one it was. Not having played Quake before, I don't remember, you know, exactly what levels they were. Alright, right or left? Let's go left. Oh, it doesn't matter. Sweet. Alright, well, that's a way to solve that puzzle. Don't actually have to weave through the spikes. If you're ready for you, guy can make an emotional transcendent experience of a Doom map, or he can make not stop wad. Yeah. I should play in our chillin' server, kill 2,000 archviles and map 2. Fun. Looking forward to a Doom stream. Definitely hoping we can set up co-op campaign, some of the harder official expanses. Yeah, we could probably get, you know, we could definitely do something like that. I'm not opposed to it at all. Just give me a game or two to get used to all the controls and such, so I won't look like a complete idiot, and, you know, we can go from there. And bye. Okay. That Skeleton Joe is at least good at bait, though. It might have been good to, like, you know, tempting to shoot him with a charge shot and then completely blow up your platform forward. This feels like a very random drop in difficulty. That should have come before the slip through the middle section. Is there anything up here? This looks like a secret. I mean, it also does just look like the same gargoyle everywhere, but... Alright, I was feeling maybe they would hide something behind a lair. Gotta leave, because I'm about to go get Wendy's. You have to drive. Dun dun dun. Alright, well, drive safe. We'll see you back. No boss? No boss. Okay, no boss. All the spawns. Yeah, oh. There is boss. It's Quick Man. Man, I wish this guy was dead. Why didn't he stay dead in Mega Man Sprite game? That was canon. Swiftly destroy you once and for all. Sure thing. Oh, okay. Sweet. Now. Ooh, okay, you got me with the music here. I love this. I know, it'll take me a second to remember where it's from, but very good music choice. Oh wait, Shovel Knight, duh, there you go. Anyways, let's say, Dragon looks amazing. It does also very much not fit the Mega Man aesthetic. It's maybe a little bit too off. The whole stage kind of doesn't, but like, this is hella detailed. I think this is, yeah, this is so, I think this is versus Enchantress, like the final phase of the final fight in the game. Yeah, my favorite actually music from Shovel Knight is the Black Knight fight. That one just does such a beautiful combination of themes within the game, and reprises the earlier fight very well. And Shovel Knight is a game that I can't believe that it's weird how it was like just the shit back in like 2010 or so. Well, not 2010, maybe that's a little too early, but like, you know, the mid to late 10s, and it was like a modern masterpiece. It's still very good, but it's not something that really I or anybody thinks of anymore. Like I'm surprised that, you know, there's not more. Like, someone could make Shovel Knight fan games, I'm sure. It would probably be pretty difficult to get all the coding right, but I don't know. It feels like something there should be more fan projects for, but there isn't. For how peak of a game it really was. Then again, I also remember the fact that, like, I felt pretty let down by some of the DLCs too, so maybe that feeling was shared by others. Though I remember that a lot of people actually did like the DLCs for Shovel Knight. Let's see. Level opinions. It's really solid. This is like really good Mega Man level. This is probably like the first level where I'm like, this is like a really good Mega Man level. Aesthetics were great, although Dragon being that high detailed was a little strange for the Mega Man theme. But yeah, otherwise aesthetics were beautiful. It maybe wasn't quite clear at first that there was breakable bricks, but they got in your way, so you had to get, you know, realize it at some point. Enemy theming generally pretty good and on point. Maybe a little bit of a generic feeling enemy set, but I'm fine with that as long as they actually stuck the landing, and I think they did. Bonus points for what I think was a custom Mega Man Shadow spawner, because it actually bothered to copy my sprite. What else? Good token challenges, although there was kind of one weirdness where it's like you had to use a utility to jump back up out of the second one. The first token was great, just right there. It's obvious where it is, but if you want it legitimately without using a magnet beam or anything, you have to do tricky platforming and timing. I loved it a lot. Final boss fight was good, though maybe a bit repetitive. I don't think it needed 2 health bars. I could see maybe 1 being a bit too short, but 2 is like a little excessive, especially when it only takes 2 damage from a charge shot. And it's pretty good use of Jewel Man platforms, so it is mostly the same use of Jewel Man platforms as Jewel Man stage. I would say maybe a little bit of originality points kind of fall off there. But otherwise, real good stuff, Bede. Let's see, anything after that, I think it's fair game. Oh, let me catch up on some of the chat stuff. Let's see. Old history playing 8-Bit Deathmatch. I miss playing that game, but yeah, I used to play that, and then I kind of realized that everybody was way sweatier and more experienced at Doom controls than I was, and I was like, I couldn't really do it anymore. I got kind of angry, but then again, I was like a teenager. I would probably be better with my temper at least now, and maybe better at the game too. So, I don't know. Maybe there'll be an 8-Bit Deathmatch community day, but for this channel. But for right now, that's a game I haven't thought of in forever, and probably won't come back to for a still longer time. You're gonna do Doom 1 and 2 on your own to get acquainted. After that's fair game. Cool. You know about Magical Kids Dorothy? I do know about it because of the one level in this contest that I made a short out of, Akudama Empire Mothership. Otherwise, I was, yeah, oh nice. Otherwise, I haven't played the game. I think that's also, this, playing MaGMML3 has added 2 games to the list of things that need to be played. One being Magical Kids Dorothy, because I didn't know there was another, Mega Man-like thing for NES. And then also Copy Kitty, because that game sounds crazy with all the abilities to combine and, use. Sounds even wilder than Mega Man's copy stuff, so. Let's see. Other 5 indie games since it released. Yeah, focus does shift kind of quickly from Shovel Knight. It's a bit of a shame, but what can you do, right? Everybody has to move on from thing to thing. But, it's just strange how it's like, it was so monumental. It was like the 10 out of the 10. The perfect game. The revival of retro gaming. And it kind of just petered off into that Good Night. It's a little weird. Not to make a pun. Good Night is not a character in that game. Yet. Maybe. Who knows? We'll get back to you on that one. And that's as far as Mega Man's concerned. I love a Doom 2016 multiplayer community day, only because I love that game's multiplayer, but no one's playing it. No, maybe we could do that at some point too. I mean, the modern Doom games are also on the list after the old Doom games are done. Been feasible, and yeah, 20-ish people. Yeah, it's a ways away, but we'll get there at some point. But yeah, let's see what else is here at Bede's level. What does everyone else have to say? Mick with the 69, nice. Well, certainly the right vibe for a ruined kingdom. The skyline's foreboding, the castle's gray and lifeless, and the whole place is infested with bats, crows, and undead legions. Well, they're all robots, but you get the point. Everything's robots in this game. I'm sure the castle's also a robot, too. By the time you get to Mega Man 0, or Mega Man ZX, the trees are robots. The sky is robots. You're probably breathing nanobots in the air. They're putting nanobots in the air to turn the robot masters gay! Alex Jones moment aside. My main aesthetic issue is with Quickman. He was such a stark contrast from everything that took me out of the experience. Better ways to execute that jump scare. That's kind of weak when normally Mega Man has to fit his way into the aesthetics here. I think it's fine to have Quickman jump in as is. As to the level, this was surprisingly quaint. The enemy selection is good and simple. Props go up to the Skullmet and Docran, both who did more than I'm used to seeing. Used the Shadow Mega Man and the bats were used pretty cool. The destructible blocks are both appropriate and effective, more variety than expected, very true. Some fun points go to Dunking Skeleton Joe for standing on them, that gave me a chuckle. As for pendulums, I appreciate that they were used without a massive horde of spikes involved. It was a very different experience from Jewel Man. True, it wasn't as frustrating. Let's see, level's aesthetic works a little against it. Primarily because everything is gray, including the fake platforms that the Cryorounds, that's a hell of a way to name it, are standing on the destructible blocks. That is Havoc for readability. Oh yeah, I thought that there was the platforms to actually jump on where the crows were, but that was not. Thankfully, it didn't factor into the level too much, but still, it was kind of iffy. Gray bricks and gray pillars for solid platforms. Having indestructible blocks is just smaller gray pillars was not wise. Enemies and pendulums have some color. The alternative would make it less readable and insufferably dull. Bosses are not dull fights. The Devil Tower is really cool. Giant Dragon is an awesome climax after that awkward cutscene. It's a tense encounter with fun attacks and great battlefield. It's really satisfying to kill. Smidge too dicey in the second phase. I didn't really notice it having much of a second phase. It got more aggressive maybe, but it just felt the same. Considering the scrolling semi-randomized battlefield, turning everything up to 11 may not have been the best decision. Still, it's a satisfying fight and a satisfying ending. Helps that not everything in there is gray. Yeah, you got a dragon that's red and gray. Condolences for getting to Doom 3. We'll see how bad it is. Let's be optimistic going into it. One of the best castle theme stages played in the contest. True. Share of problems. The positive highly outweigh the negatives. Level design is really solid here. Well, I wouldn't say it does anything groundbreaking with indestructible blocks and jewel swings. The challenges surrounding them are still perfectly fine. The only time where it gets to be too much the third token room. Intended way by jumping across the jewel swings is easily the most precise and difficult part of the stage. Yeah, it is, but it only took like 3 tries. It wasn't that bad. Then again, man, I watched Flashman do the Alpine Research Facility. I think that was the little title with the 3 different with the buttons and the water and the snow and everything. I watched Flashman's recording of that. It was look, Flashman, I love you as a community member, but damn, that was kind of sad to watch. It really wasn't that hard. I don't know why it took him like 20 minutes and then he still wasn't able to do it. Like, just scout ahead. I don't get it. And I don't get why all the judges had problems with it too. So maybe there's just a difficulty disconnect between us here. Let's see. Not worth doing without using the magnet beam. Sort of, but thankfully none of the other rooms are anywhere near as demanding. Generally both well structured and enjoyable to traverse. Level design's good. Stage is lacking in the visual department. Yeah, it's just all gray. It does have a great theme with the background going though. Outside background helps. Doesn't change the fact that a large portion of the level is gray. Other than that, my only other major gripe with the stage comes from the end boss. Rather is flame breath. Due to the way the room moves, it sometimes feels there's not enough space to avoid this attack. You try to bait the flames properly. Ironic for a dragon to be saying such things. Those few things aside, I found myself enjoying the fight. Very nice work overall. Game shotgun alone is why I say that. Quote CV11, you can't kill anything with it unless you stick it up a demon's nose. Clearly, they have not tried the demon's urethra. That is also a very vulnerable position. Beware, Eldritch Lurks. The tile set is pretty amazing, just a little bit on the grayscale side, otherwise the aesthetics are pretty stellar. Pretty neat rooms with the breakable blocks and how you need to use them. I like the use of the enemies, little skull guys, skeleton joes, but are made somewhat of a threat in those layered elevation rooms. Very true. It's just a shame the Skeleton Joe kind of falls off in the middle, not doing too much. Tokens are nice, challenging rooms. Got a bit scared with the swing platform. Yeah, the ceiling spikes. Devil Tower mini bosses, neat concept. A little drawn out. Yeah, I could have used maybe a couple more frames of vulnerability on that devil. It would have been a little bit better, but it's fine. So with the boss fake out, double fake out, it was funny. But if you're keen eye on the autosave notification, you can kind of catch that something is wrong. Not if you're a streamer, you're completely distracted. Won't notice these kinds of things. Neat little finale boss of the dragon at the end. Bit rough on the health exchange. Yeah, 2 health bars is excessive. Fireball attacks can be almost unavoidable if you don't have much room to work with. It's the most damaging move. Fire twice once he reaches half health. I thought it was fine to work around. And I didn't even notice the second phase. It's not that bad. I think of this level, the first thing I think of is the boss fight. It's an awesome, well-programmed set piece that's worth the extra health bar. Really? I don't know if I go that far. Maybe the extra health bar if I did 3 damage to him with a charge shot rather than 2. Surprise twist is memorable. Rest of the level strives similarly cinematic feel. Fortunately, you don't get damage bonus for shooting a demon in the urethra. Headshots or bust, I'm afraid. Well, why not? We should make a mod of Doom where you can shoot them in the urethra for bonus damage. Gorgeous backgrounds, intricate foregrounds. I'm a sucker for efficient architecture with artistic negative space. True. It's all about the space you don't fill in. Cool gargoyles and energetically spooky music create an excellent atmosphere. Wait, gargoyles is boss foreshadowing? I mean, I guess gargoyles are dragons, but they're usually too small and ill-proportioned for me to have actually thought of the boss like that. Also, gargoyles are like on every castle, so why not? Thinking of Duke Nukem. Oh, yeah, you're right, my bad. Sounds like an H-Doom plugin. Maybe a little bit. Maybe just a tad. Doom can have a crumb of H-Doom as a treat. Energetically spooky music create an excellent atmosphere. Bats, crows, shadow clones, skull-themed enemies, swinging platforms, indestructible blocks combine well and add to the sense of location. The nifty mini-boss is a perfect guardian for this kind of place. Some parts of the gameplay uphold that standard of excellence. It's really hard for me to not talk in Flashman's cadence whenever I read dialogue that's based off him, just because I've heard him summarize things so quickly at the end of his Mega Man playthroughs. Large swaths of the learning curve are very smooth. The swinging platform introduction is particularly superb. Enemy placement is thoroughly on point, leveraging the architecture and gimmicks for maximum effect. I'm especially pleased with how Docron, Skeleton Joe, Bravo, and a few specific bats are used. The rooms where you destroy the floor to proceed make me very happy, as do the safeguards against getting stuck anywhere. Well, there was that one token. Other parts of this gameplay fall short. The level expects the player to be a master of precision jumps. I'm thinking of the first stretch with bottomless pits and the side room, the third token. Those difficult areas become inconsequential with special weapons, but without weapons, it feels like checkpoints are intimidatingly far apart. A little more warm-up to the notion of don't destroy every block would have been helpful too. I guess so. My remaining critiques are fairly minor things. Mistaking background pillars for foreground because of their color, glitching the mini-boss with break dash. Ooh, that sounds fun. Not finding even one secret behind a gargoyle, facing Quickman when Skull, Shade, Blockman would have been a more thematic fit, etc. But oh, the good parts are great. Beat one of the bosses of Duke Nukem by hitting him in his nuts. Huh. Duke Nukem 3D? No, not Duke Nukem 3D, I know I played one of the Duke Nukem games. Pretty sure I played like the first Doom-like one. It's been so long though. I don't remember. I tried going back to it and then disliking it. It was the Megaton edition on Steam. I know I played that, but it's been so long. I probably don't even remember that encounter. Think of Conquer, yeah. Oh, that's a fun game. I should play that one day. Oh, wait. 60 out of 100. Get ready for another Ace Spark banger of a judge review. Turns out to be as lifeless as the name implies. While aesthetically well constructed with a few graphical flares, decisions such as making almost the entire level monochrome meant that the aesthetic fails to hook in. The entire level seemed to blend together into a single gray mess. The first half does not seem to do anything noteworthy, effectively being just corridors of enemies. The destructible blocks are not interesting enough to use them by themselves. I think that's... Normally I would agree with you there. However, this level really managed to pull it off. I think it did it very well, and in a way that the actual Mega Man games have not done before. Because almost all the time, the destructible blocks in the Mega Man games are either they have gravity applied to them, or they cause weird, interactions with the stage, like with that one Darkman level, the final Darkman level, or they're like dust blocks, and you kind of don't get to, see them stationary. They move constantly. I think this level did great use of those blocks. One interesting pattern where you were digging downwards, that's not that interesting. It could have just been sheet man blocks. It's good. It's not that good. Same challenge repeated in succession. The second half does introduce the Jewel Man swings to mix things up, but other than a few places, they do not seem to be used very effectively. What? Some of these challenges are taken whole hog from Jewel Man. I can agree with that. I enjoyed the club token room and could see you try to start putting your gimmicks together in the final rooms, but this simply did not lead to any particular scenario of interest. I feel that this level would have been a lot stronger if you had introduced and used everything from the start, which would have allowed you to build up more interesting concepts later in the level with combining your gimmicks. Wait, introduce and use everything from the start? I mean, I guess you could have had the blocks and the swings at the first couple of screens, but I don't know. I feel like that's unnecessary. Mid-boss was simple, but we liked it. We liked that. Did find the boss cutscene amusing. You definitely got me. Not a big fan of the dragon fight. Bit too much health. I can agree there. Many of the attacks seemed almost effortless to dodge. The big exception to this was the fireball attack that was occasionally impossible. Not impossible. If you were going to have two phases, you should have both been more threatening in the second and being granted new attacks rather than just doubling up the fireball attack. Oh, that's all that happens? Okay. Actually, I think I agree with A-Spark on a lot of these points, except for the fact that, like, you know, blocks being dull. See, he mostly dinged it for creativity and fun. And design. Creativity, fun, and design. Yeah, I mean, I can agree with a lot of his points. I guess I just don't maybe agree with his point distribution. Because a lot of that made sense, but I don't know. I don't think it needed to be docked that much for just using break blocks, and that's it. Oh, Duke Nukem Forever. Yeah, that's probably why I haven't seen it. I can't believe a Conquer even came out on the N64. Rare was wild back then. Yeah, they could get away with it. I'm surprised they managed to get it past Nintendo and the censors of America. I guess rating it R, you know, does wonders for you, but still. Conquer Beta will ever end up leaking back when it was still a cutesy collectathon platformer akin to Banjo-Kazooie. That would be, like, the ultimate thing that turns up in, like... I predict turns up in 2040... and is just some random fuck-ass guy in Atlanta, Georgia that says, lol, I just found this at a garage sale, and there's no reason why it ended up in an Atlanta, Georgia garage sale. The entire traceability of the cart is lost, but for some reason, somebody finds it, someone pays, you know, that person $2 more billion for it, and then they release the ROM on the internet. That's how it'll go down. Before people used to work out, they used to work. A lot of truth to that saying, Chuck. Staying fit is obviously important, and if you need a place like this, enter my place to judge. But personally, I'd rather live a life that keeps me fit than pay some poxy subscription. And again, I work doing what I love. To some, that's an even bigger privilege than wealth. It is true. I would rather continue to do the job that I love to do rather than be wealthy. That's why I decided to not get my PhD and just, you know, master out of grad school. Ain't no way I was sticking around grad school for another 3 to 4 years and being at the most depressed point in my entire life. Challenges here have been besting even me, the mighty airman. I thought entering the tournament would be easy pickings, but it would seem that even I, the once unbeatable robot master, am falling behind. How could this have happened? Also, I would like to point out that I noticed that there are E-cans from the Mega Man Game Boy series being used in the tile set. That is very cool. We installed these ladder workout machines here since they're so efficient at burning calories, and to ensure we got our money's worth, we've made using them necessary to get around. Our visitors will burn calories. This is a threat. Maybe not a threat, but just a promise? Oh, that's cool. I don't know. This is very entertaining. I don't quite know why, but this is extremely entertaining to me. Alright, what's the next level here? Cable Woman. Ooh, sorry. Streaming Woman's gonna be replacing you pretty soon. Oh, wrong cable. There's gotta be something up here. Also, a little loud on the music. Let's see. Personal gaming holy grails, hoping the original Mega Man X beta will get dumped online. I need to know what the Mystery Maverick is. There's a Mystery Maverick? I actually didn't quite know about that. I mean, then again, I don't know a hell of a lot about Mega Man. Oh god, that's a loud sound effect. I'm gonna have to deal with this the entire stage? Help! My 4 ears! Yeah, I mean, I'm not too familiar with a lot of Mega Man X development cycle stuff, but if there's a Mystery Maverick, that sounds entertaining. No, that's not where I want. Okay, that's... Fuck. Okay, there we go. Hey! Like I never missed. I'm having like a layer... The wire electric sparks are giving me like a Larry David Curb Your Enthusiasm moment. You know, when he flushes the toilet and he goes fucking deaf. That's the vibe I'm getting right now. It's a little much. That's right, Break Dash pushes these things around. Ladder workout machine. Why are we not funding this? That's actually a good point. People would probably use that, like, at a real gym. I mean, there'd probably be some safety hazards with it, but, you know, I'm sure we could figure it out. Isn't even that loud. Greetings, by the way. It's very loud to me. I don't know. When it's in... Having headphones on and then having the music at this volume, it feels loud. Like, the fact that I can't even hear my jumps over it and, like, the shooting and everything, like, it's pretty bad. It probably doesn't come out as bad just because I've, like, reduced the output of the game for stream purposes so that way you can always hear me over it, but, like, the balance of it in my headphones, it's different. It's pretty heavy for me. Oh, that's... Okay, that's a very fun Met variant. Oh, well, I guess I'll go back that way then. I'll interact with the Met variant. It's kind of weird seeing a Cyclops Met, but also is like, I can't believe that hasn't been done already. Manticore based on the silhouette. Huh, that would be pretty cool. Like, Mythic Manticore, I think could probably be a good name for it. I had a gaming beta holy grail. I'm trying to think, what would it be for me? There's a lot of things that I enjoy, actually, you know, I already have a lot of, like, beta artwork and stuff kind of, you know, out there. Maybe... I mean, yeah, I mean, if I really looked at it, I'd probably be able to find, like, all the Mother 3 beta stuff. Like, that would be meaningful to me. But I don't think it's anything that, like... I don't know. I tend not to get hung up on, like, beta art and stuff. Well, not hung up, it's maybe not the right word. But it tends not to be something that I'm really, like, that into looking at. Like, I think when I mentioned my friend Alan, you know, beating the Mega Man games in the Legacy Collection, that might be the first time I've actually bothered to look at the art collections on the Mega Man Legacy Collection. It's just not something that I really, you know, cared that much for or about. So wait. Oh, using Magnet Beam just was the right answer back there? Okay. I should have looked ahead. They designed a Spark Mandrill for... It's beta designed for Mandrill, at least not before it became a Mandrill enemy. The tail's a dead giveaway. Well, we will never know. Optic Blast! True. Too bad we don't have the Biden Blast. That would be an even more powerful weapon to acquire. Okay, gotta go back. Ah, fucking course. I almost got through that without getting hit. And the fly gets me. That fucking fly that I hate. That's Comic-Con and Legends 3 in the Mega Man universe. Only got to meet Inafune before he left Capcom. Ooh, sweet. Huh. That looks kind of like a mixture of Dynamo Man and, maybe Fuse Man? Oh, no Boss Chamber? Okay, I'm a little bit taken off by that. Ooh, a very cool plug hair thing at the end there. Not a fan of the loud sound effects still being here, though. Alright, okay, good. You do something else. I was about to say, a little bit of a boring fight this was gonna be. Alright, lock it in. Ow. Okay, maybe a bit of an easy fight, but, you know, fundamentally still solid. So much interesting designs that could have been. Yeah, I mean, there's some, but I don't know. It's one of those things where I tend to get more... I guess I tend to get locked into gameplay, and that's what draws me in more than artwork does. Some things where it's like I like concepts of, like for music, I am a little bit more of a sucker for, like, you know, releases of early demos of songs on, like, you know, limited edition CDs. I'm not going to go out of my way to buy one, but if I get to, you know, check out what, you know, like Fleetwood Mac's Rumors sounded like on the second disc, you know, while it was still in draft form. Yeah, it's interesting. There's some aspects of those that I like, but it's nothing I tend to, you know, really get caught over, looking at. A Met doing the Biden blast. Unfortunately, a Met will never be elected president. It's just the sad truth of the mega city world. Voltman, but more interesting, which is not saying much. Yeah, Voltman is a little bit boring on his own, but it was a pretty cool version of that fight. At least more dynamic. You can also use your cable's whip to hit you. Oh, I just never stood that close. Let's see. Let's see. Overall thoughts about that. At least it was very strongly themed, so all the electricity came to work together. It was fun to see a revisit of the Mega Man 04 Mino Magnus electricity gimmick. My ears were not happy with it, but my gameplay was. Use of enemies, let's see. Cyclops Met was cool, although it didn't really come into importance that much. You probably could have replaced it with a regular Met and it would have been the same. Yeah, because they were just in very easy places to get rid of for the most part. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Other enemies. Dragonflies worked well with the sparking cables. Made for a decent challenge. Let's see. Other set pieces I can remember. Because all I can think of right now is this level did have at least the distinctive set piece of going across the telephone wires with the dragonflies chasing you. That was really cool. Yeah, I don't know. Outside of that, I think I just had fun. And it wasn't really anything too stand out or really that interesting in the enemy department, which is maybe a bit of a shame. But, solid level at the very least. I had a lot of fun. The energy was good. Ceiling shoots, but does it more. Yeah, exactly. That's very... Maybe Dynamo, not close. I think I agree with Zerfer on this one. It's very Voltman coded. It has almost the same kind of... Cable Woman almost has kind of the same timing and patterns along with it. Dynamo Man sort of does that, but like Dynamo Man is, always hooking himself into, the machine, TM. And, Cable Woman doesn't quite do that. She just hooks right into anywhere in the ceiling will do. Yeah, he hangs on the ceiling to heal himself, but he doesn't shove his hand right into the ceiling. He hops into the contraption, the doohickey, the thingamajig to heal. He doesn't just, punch the ceiling and start, charging electricity. There's something about the theming here that's subtly impressive. At first glance, this just seems like the standard electric fare. However, the level is genuinely built to be a cable stage instead of just electricity. Core gimmicks focus primarily on electric cables, and both Yafu and Yambo fit really well. Just really solid props on the theming and aesthetic here. Agreed. Only real issue is how badly the outside graphics and the inside graphics clash. The fading screen transitions do a lot to mask this, but that's forgotten close to the end, and boy howdy did I notice the clash then. Huh. I didn't notice it whatsoever, but then again, I have my brain on like 4 different things. Level itself is fine, electric gimmicks handle excellently, creating a reasonable challenge that isn't too crazy. Yafu isn't used as often, but a pinch of wind physics is an excellent spice in the midst of all the cables. As for enemies, Yambo is an excellent companion to the power lines, likewise with Berry. Adore how Smaplars? Smaplars? That's a fucking canon enemy name? That sounds like some shit that Zach Hadel would come up with in Smiling Friends, or he'd try to gaslight fucking Chris O'Neill about being like, oh yeah, I went down to the 7-Eleven today and some guy told me about the plight of the poor Smaplars over in fucking Uganda. Like, that is the fakest fucking Mega Man enemy name I think I have ever heard. That sounds like a little fantasy gremlin that's like wandering around. I refuse to take Smaplars seriously. What the hell is that? Is that the Mega Man 1 Elecman enemy? Like, okay, sure. The one-eyed design of the Mets reminds me of the Watchers, which is pretty cool. It's not all perfect, but the aforementioned Watchers are pretty much a non-entity. And Berry can be dull without power lines to back him up, but as a whole, it's well built. If I had to name a big issue, it would probably be the level's difficulty. Simple enough, doesn't excite me that much. Doesn't mean it's a bad level. Nah, the level design is overall solid. Cable Woman herself is a great fight. And ultimately is more than just an electric stage. If the only big issue I can find is that it's too easy to interest someone who's been doing this for a while, then I'd say it's done well. No sympathy for Voltman. He got enough spotlight back in university. Oh, is there a text box I missed? Smaplars are the Plugman Spime equivalent. That's the Mega Man 9 thing? Oh my god. Yeah, the Grungorps. How about the Fungal Boobs? Or the trying to think of another wacky name. The Gringledorfs. How about those too? Smaplars. Fucking who the hell comes up with this shit? Alright. Also, I just noticed the music is still quiet. Let me boost that back up. There we go. The Skillipes. Now, hold on. You're getting dangerously close to Skibidis. You have to hold back a little bit. You can't be introducing an official enemy called the Skibidis. You don't want that. This is such a level that struck a strange chord. Let's see. Has its faults, but there's a lot more to like than to dislike. Aside from the overall solid presentation and aesthetics, one of my favorite things about this stage is the main gimmick. The electrified wires are a simple yet effective hazard. More than enough to keep the player engaged, and they play off the other enemies very well. That said, for as good as the enemy placement is, like the aforementioned Yambos, along with the Met variants, a few of the other ones feel a bit underutilized. Yahoos and Watchers don't show up that much outside of a few specific rooms. Both could have easily been paired with the electrified wires. It's a little sad not to see that capitalized on. Then it's probably my biggest complaint with the stage. It leaves me wanting more. Not because it's a bad level, but because it has the makings of a great level. It's just held back ever so slightly due to underutilized enemies and surprisingly short runtime. All that isn't to say what's here isn't good. Far from it, in fact. Especially since the stage ends on a pretty high note with Cable Woman herself. Cable Woman's fight is relatively straightforward, though still ends up being pretty engaging because of her mix-ups. Where she zaps you with her helmet cable. Never saw it. Other than that, I really enjoyed her fight. Ultimately, even with its flaws, still had a good amount of fun with the stage. If it was made a little bit longer, some of the enemies had a better presence, this easily would have been one of my favorites in the contest. Consider it a strong runner-up and honorable mention, though. True, this is probably the first level where it's like, I naturally have a memorable thing that's good, which is that Yanbo and Cable segment. Pretty cool. The Scoopin' Vegans, the Wupaks, the Mungdalias, the Chalmandelians, the Blorbosons. What's keeping up with the Blorbosons? Sounds like a 1980s or 1970s show in the Mega Man universe. Conducting condition. Stage is a bit mundane, being electric themed but solidly designed otherwise. Sage uses the favorite mini boss, the Banana Beeroos. Now that one actually sounds real. That one actually sounds like it is in this game. That one sounds like it's like a combination monkey electric enemy. Let's see, solid design stage. Stage utilized the electric cable gimmick well. Good difficulty. Stage could have gone a little bit longer. I think it was fine in length. It didn't need to be longer. First two tokens are a little cryptic to get into, but actually smart that they are placed early in the level, so it's clear that they missed something. I would also say it was a little bit, the token pacing was a little strange. Like, there was just those two instantly, and then the others kind of just came out of nowhere really quickly. Cable Woman's manageable if easy. Yeah. Oh hey, a level with forgivable shortcomings and lots of bright spots. I like it when I play one of these. Taco Trash. Man, it'd be crazy if anything was named that. Could you imagine? Wonka Candy Rejects. They definitely do. Or they sound like the other names for creatures that the Oompa Loompas would give. Not as creative as you guys. You just kind of have to start with a letter and go with some, like, random mishmash of English syllables in your head. Like, you could go with the Wapalumps. The Jimbadoos. There you go. See? Just throw syllables together and start with a letter that's on your keyboard. Maybe if you're feeling creative, start with a number too. You could make a leet speak enemy. Isn't even taco shaped. I know, right? Let's see. On an individual basis, challenges are fair and appropriately difficult. The outdoor sections are an improvement on Vaultman's level and feel authentically Capcom. Oh my god, it really did just hit me that the Vaultman himself in the DOS games actually have this gimmick. Holy shit. I can't believe that didn't hit me. I mean, I guess I've seen Vaultman's stage just destroyed by glitch usage and, you know, going and getting done with it in 5 seconds, but like... Yeah, no, that is just Vaultman's gimmick, isn't it, huh? Yeah, that does bring down the originality score a little bit. I can probably see a Sparks complaint right now. Let's see here. Indoor challenges are fine, but a little messy at times. Crowded architecture. Just barely too many moving parts. Tokens are placed competently, but aren't always satisfying. Choosing the last one with rush coil is possible. Secret bonus room is perfectly hidden. I didn't find it. I'll have to come back one day. Collectively, there's a good thematic flow to the level, but the screens feel out of order because the complexity and difficulty fluctuate. Consequently, later challenges often serve as better introductions to the enemies and gimmicks than the actual introductions. Cable Woman's a good ending to the level. Don't tell Veltman I said that. And I appreciate that her moments of invulnerability never cause the fight to drag. All the custom objects look and feel just right. I especially like the new map variety. My only complaint is that the indoor sparks originate a small distance away from the wall instead of inside the wall. The sound effect happening very slightly after the spark appears. It's a subtle thing, but it's enough to throw off my timing every time. Not something that I noticed at all. Leaves me wanting more. First and foremost, fans combined with the sparks. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. But I won't deny that it's a good Mega Man level. I can sum this stage up pretty quickly. Oh, well, actually, A-Spark's not that behind, just the only one not to break 70. It is fine, as harsh as I am about to sound. I had fun, and is what you expect out of a Mega Man stage called Cable Woman, but thinking critically, I was hoping to see something new. It treads too much familiar ground. Introduces gimmicks well, aesthetically pleasing. There were hints of things even greater than the level offered, such as the fast-moving Smaplar. A-Spark, you don't need to start that up again. Mega Man 9 Volt enemy. And minor platforming involving the Yafu. 6-fan. Wait. Hey, Spark. What? Thank you for finally doing this, but also, why did it take you so long to finally start doing this? Like, tell me what the... Fucking, come on, people. Do this more. Give me the official name and then also give me a description so I know what the hell you're talking about. Most of the tokens were fine, but a couple were way too simplistic. 2 particular highlights for the stage are the fun metal variant. I like the final room with the Yambao. Cable Woman was perfectly serviceable, with easy-to-dodge attacks and decent enough tells. The fact that it's entirely RNG-dependent is absolutely fine. Fun, but falls a little short. I can agree with that. Try combining your gimmicks. Use them with more variety and novel setups. This would have allowed Cable Woman to escape what is ultimately the fate of being a decent, but fairly forgettable, good Mega Man level. Yeah, I can actually see A-Spark there a little bit. I didn't really mind the fans being, you know, just on those 2. The very fact that the fans were just kind of on the 2 screens that were, like, you know, wrapping up the side of the building, I think it's fine. But it could have been cool to actually have it combined with the electricity at some point. And then also, I do feel the Met was still a little underutilized. Very fun, though. I mean, we are at the gym. Might as well get my steps in. This is the second to last tier. Yep, this is tier 14. There's just 15 left, and then there's the Wily stages, and then there's also the post-game, and then there's also the post-game, and there's so much to this goddamn game, I'm gonna be playing it for the rest of my life. I'm probably not gonna actually get to everything, though. I do wanna, you know, move on eventually. I'm probably planning to play up through tier X and maybe the Neo Pit of Pits. I also want to get the True Arena in, though I don't know how much else is after that. I don't think I'm gonna go through every single chrome of this game, at least on stream. I have other things to move on to. Yeah! Take that! Yeah, take that, you stupid punching bags! You're nothing to me! Jeez, Hondo, you got some things to work out, huh? Where I'm not actually near punching bags right now, I'm psyching myself up for the real deal. Okay, I'm gonna let you work out all your demons over there. Banshee Woman by Schmitty. On the topic of fake-sounding names, by Schmitty and Noives. Both of them. Oh, Presto is having the time of their life over there. The Wily stage is in the post-game. Neo Pit of Pits, though, wouldn't recommend doing all of it. Okay, fair enough. that sounds like a definitely a endorsement for how long I have heard that the length of it can be. So, okay, got a tight shot on the Mets there. That's cool. And a cool visual effect on these crumbling. A randomized one too. The level quality has taken I would like to state, the level quality has taken such an insanely severe jump in quality since going from tier 13. Like, I don't know. Like, if you were here for the other streams, I was not vibing with tier 13 basically at all. Only a couple levels really went with me. And now these levels, holy shit, these levels are so cool on the aesthetic front and also the gameplay front. Like, it is just a complete 180. I will say maybe I was a little bit disappointed with the fact that my charge shots didn't break multiple of those destructible bricks, but, you know, there are worse things to complain about. Okay, so this is the token path. Alright. Mess that up, but nothing too consequential. Jump over here and get that. Sweet. Oh, you're an Iron... That's cool. An Iron Maiden boss. That's actually... Or enemy. That's actually awesome. 500 Neopit of Pit... 500 Neopit of Pit submissions to get to the true final boss of that section. Okay, fuck that. That's maybe quite a bit. Castlevania 3 music. I haven't played Castlevania, so... Wouldn't have recognized it. Thank you for the point out. Just had to make sure there wasn't anything else over there. It would have been weird if there was, but, you know. No stone unturned. No man unstoned. Okay, let's see. What other things could I talk about? Oh yeah, we were on the topic of collection and things like that. You know, collecting cards and what have you in the Sweet Home stream from Thursday. I actually did think of the fact there is one thing that I do kinda, sorta, maybe collect a little bit. It's not something I actively go for, but, you know, occasionally I'll purchase a new thing in this category. I do actually like to collect minerals and gemstones a little bit. A lot of it started just because, like, so maybe Mom was a little bit into the whole gemstone, you know, energy type modern, the word is completely blanking me right now, but, you know, the postmodern kind of gem energy kind of shit. But the fact that we could share a like for the minerals, even if she was into that kind of thing, and I was more just into the fact that there's chemistry behind minerals. I do have a little bit of a gem collection because she would get me a lot of gems and such for, you know, birthday gifts or random coming back to Chicago presents, that kind of thing. I guess the ladder's the optional direction? Oh, well, okay, yeah, I guess the ladder's the optional direction, so we'll try that. So yeah, I do have a handful of things like that I do have on display at work. This is the best place for them. Let's see. Some of my favorite pieces are, the ones that I have recently purchased from, well, maybe not recently, but the ones that I have purchased on my own from this one cool Etsy store. Not an ad, but Turtles Horde on Etsy is really cool because that was sad, because they sell, like gemstones, artificial ones that were used in, like scientific apparatus at certain points, or were at least created to be used in scientific apparatus, but due to having like flaws in them, they weren't able to be used. So you can get really cool synthetic stones that you can't really get elsewhere. One of my favorites is it's called a GAG crystal, G-A-G-G, standing for Gallium Aluminum Gadolinium Lumo Garnet. And that is to say that it is a really cool looking yellow gemstone that is normally used for like optic studies in like very specialty equipment to take, like, I don't know, the best I can describe it as weird pictures. it's very much a burgeoning field. But this one had some slight cracks and well, not cracks, but like scratches and flaws that kind of made it imperfect for that. So I managed to get like a small, maybe like 3-carat thing, wear as a necklace, which I do on occasion. And it's yellow, it's cool, but the best part is that it is UV fluorescent, so it slightly has a glow under the sun. And if you put a UV pen under it, if you put a UV laser towards it, which they supplied in the form of a UV pen as a bonus gift, you get to actually see a very, very bright yellow glow come off of it. It is really cool and has some very interesting chemistry behind it, so I love it to pieces. They also sold a like a little piece of what's called laser ruby, because it used to be used in research for the Star Wars era of U.S. policy during the Cold War, to try and fire lasers at each other. Fun. Yeah, there was just a small piece they sold. This cool little pink thing that doesn't actually like phosphoresce or anything, but you know, it will have a pretty cool pink glow when you put white light into it. So, gotta love it. Oh god, okay. Got stabbed. Got shot. Oh no. Oh dear. I'm in Britain. And America at the same time. You only have to beat 100 Neo Pit of Pits levels for its registers being completed. The alternate boss fights with 200, 300, 400, 500 room clears automatically unlock in the boss select afterwards. Yeah, alright, maybe we can get that far, but, you know. We're all just crows with anxiety and bills to pay. Very true. We are just but tiny little creatures. Megalodon tooth. Nice, nice. I used to have a couple of, like... Oh, okay, that's the exit to a path. I used to have a couple of, like, beach fossil type things. You know, when I was young, there was, like... I shouldn't have tried that jump. There was, like, you know, sand dollars and starfish and stuff like that. Oh, wow, that's a little bit far to have to backtrack. I'm guessing I died right before the checkpoint. Yeah, a lot of that sea stuff is cool. I also used to have kind of some random, like, you know, shell necklace that I would wear a lot as a kid. I got into the Hawaii aesthetic when I was younger, and still kind of have it, but not nearly as much. Mostly it just manifests in the occasional, you know, aloha shirt. Nowadays. Used to have some small gold nuggets from an expedition. Don't know where they are or where they got them now. Our archaeological expedition, but like one of those things where you buy bags of dirt and then wash them there for minerals. Baby's first treasure. I mean, I have fond memories of that. I remember my parents got me like a, you know, little, like, quartz excavation kit when I was like, you know, 7 or... Okay, that hitbox just instantly pops up. That's a little janky. Like a little quartz mining thing. There's just like a solid chunk of quartz within a block. Again, probably a scam, but you know, it was neat to titillate the young mind. I don't know why that's the verb I went with, but here we are. Just have to own a whole T-Rex skeleton. Oh man, did Nicolas Cage buy a whole T-Rex skeleton? That's kind of... You know, normally I'm not one for people with that much wealth spending it that ostentatiously, but that's kind of badass. I kind of can't deny that how cool it is for somebody to buy a whole T-Rex skeleton, if true. Okay, died right before the boss door. Damn. Dude left the checkpoint, looks suspicious. Yeah, I tried getting in there. It was an exit to, I guess, the alternate path. Stuff's just in his living room. Yeah. I do also have some gold nugget pieces, well, some gold leaf and oil that my mom got me as like a graduation gift. So, gold is also cool to have. I think if I had to choose a favorite mineral, it would be this mineral called sparrowlite. It is, it's this kind of like dark, like dried blood red mineral that's pretty uncommon, and it's platinum arsenide, which is crazy just because normally those two elements don't go together very much. But even crazier, and this is extremely chemistry nerd coded, Based on their electronegativities on the periodic table, you actually have a very odd inverse of formal oxidation states between the two. The platinum is not in a positive oxidation state, it's in a negative one, and the arsenic is in the positive state. That is extremely weird for those elements to do. So you get this really awesome looking gemstone, and you get to have chemistry trivia that nobody asked for. Oh, this is a bad spot to be. I guess I should talk about the boss, huh? This is a pretty cool, well-balanced boss. I was just not paying much attention because I was talking about rocks. I could see the patterns there. If I was actually locked in, that probably would have been, oops, a little bit of a cleaner fight. And I have with this boss is her tendency to be a bit out of range too long. Yeah, I think she takes enough damage to justify it. It's not that bad. Plus, you actually, I think this is a case for being out of range, getting to see the full breadth of her attacks is fair, because you get to go through about 2 cycles before you can take her down. I think that's fair. Now, if she had some kind of maybe extra shielding, it'd be a little much. I saw that, the Scream kind of shields her sometimes, but, you can at least tell when that's coming out. Try to sneak in a shot. But to each their own. Real adventures in the creek behind my old house, in which I did find real treasure in. Ooh, do tell. From the previous checkpoint. I mean, I got all 4 things, so, I don't know. Unless the devs mention a bonus room here. I don't find treasure behind my house unless weird-ass creatures counts as a treasure. They could... All of the little creatures of the world count as treasures. Don't ever discount them. Let's see. Level. Aesthetically, again, very strong. The Met variant, I like that they still had a triple shot, but they were also far less annoying than regular Met's triple shots, so I like that a lot. Good use of crows, good custom Iron Maiden enemy, very fun. That's a very fun enemy concept on its own. You don't see that too often. Also had, what other cool stuff? What other cool enemy was there? On the tip of my tongue. Oh yeah, those ghosts that charge at you. I mean, fundamentally cool. They maybe take a little too long for the wind-up. You have to get a little too close to them. They mostly just end up as cannon fodder, but they're pretty cool. Otherwise, the obstacles in the level are really well done, and this is, like, perfect haunted castle trying to kill you type of vibes. I can totally see it as a thing where it's like, yeah, all of the architecture is possessed, too, by ghosts and such. Aesthetics are on point, as far as, like, actually looking like Mega Man 8-bit goes, too. Great music. Very, very solid level. Love this one. Which I'm talking about was not little. You ever get jump scared by a heron 2 hours before midnight? Oh no, that thing's gonna rip your head off. That's that is frightening, actually. Never had to deal with that. Never lived in a place with where wildlife could get that close to me. Always been an inner city dweller. A chest buried in the lake with some money in it. Found weapons like bows and swords, and also a lot of thorns and pain in my hands. What was there, like a fucking, like, did a pirate ship sink in the creek behind your house? Like, I mean, damn, good for you, that's crazy, but, like, that isn't, okay, I don't know where you are necessarily, but when you say, I found weapons in a creek, my mind jumps towards, oh yeah, those guys on YouTube Shorts who magnet fish and just find, like, old M16s and shit in the creek. That's maybe the terminally American take on it, but that is what I think of first. Not bows and swords, but that is honestly even cooler that you can find old bows and swords like that in there. Those are, like, hella sentimental relics. Those are cool as hell. Like Batman. Let's see. 15 out of 15 aesthetics here, because wow, this is cool looking. Can't think of a serious complaint. Theming is top-notch, the music sounds great, and the graphics are nothing short of beautiful. At most, I wish the slightly cracked blocks were a slightly different color, as it would make them easier to see. However, they're still distinct, so it's more design knock than anything else. I like the fact, actually, that the destructible blocks they blend in fairly well, because that's always kind of the issue like I had with, like, Stone Man's fake blocks. It's like, yeah, there's very obviously, like, something behind this if you shoot it. Like, to here, it's like, oh, you actually could miss the fake blocks if you weren't paying attention, but they hit just that perfect sweet spot of like not being so obscure like the Akudama Empire level, but not being painfully obvious either. I think they hit the sweet spot on this one just right. Never seen that. We have wild wolves at least 4 feet tall, and the wingspan was 12 to 15 feet. I could tell this is imprinted in your mind. That is a harrowing experience. I think the only large bird I've ever been chased by and threatened by were geese, but that's when I was like 6 and they were as tall as I was. I distinctly remember feeding geese with my dad in some park, and they got maybe a little bit aggressive for that bread, and we had to run away to a higher elevation to not keep drawing their ire. Fun stuff. But geese aren't actually threatening, unlike herons. Water break, good. Speaking of design, Banshee levels feel solid. Gimmicks are simple. Let's see, they're not super inspiring, but they're very themed and implemented well. And we can enjoy it. The spear hitbox, yeah, that did get some jank. Didn't like that, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Blocks make interesting puzzles on the upper route. I found myself really liking the more claustrophobic moments with the maces. Nuke speed's tuned well. Yeah, it's fast enough to be a threat, but not so fast that it can't be parsed. I felt engaged walking through that entire thing. Enemies where most of the creativity lies. The Spookies are a fun little ghost minion, and they're effective challenges despite their low health, not to mention hilarious. The Bone Mets are a cool variant on regular Mets. I appreciate that they're more than just cannon fodder. The Iron Maidens are really cool, offering the choice between constant dodging or getting caught so you can kill it easily. I adore how they are introduced. I agree. It looked just kind of like a random backdrop at first. And you got a fun jungle gym to play with it for the first time. And the Sciaround is perfect for the atmosphere, which makes it a darn shame that it barely shows up on the already less interesting bottom route. Finally, there is a split path token, which almost requires 2 playthroughs, but it's possible to circumvent that, so it's less annoying than it normally is. Then we get to the boss. Gonna say I was super excited to see Banshee Woman actually had a shout attack. Yeah, like, it'd be kind of weird if she didn't. Full of attention to detail, her boss pattern's fun to work around. She's surprisingly easy to bring down within 2 runs of her pattern, despite being a flyer. Unfortunately, her coding is the level's biggest weakness. If you pause during her fight, there's a significant chance she'll break completely. Ooh. Additionally, Water Shield can destroy her Scythe, which can completely break her AI and leave you hanging. Oh, that sounds fun to do. I wish I would have tried that out. Really enjoyed the fight. For the player's sake, we'll be fixing and adjusting these glitches to the release. No! I wanted to destroy her AI! However, the functionality issues reflect on the score. Still, despite the glitches, this is a fun level. I liked it a lot. There's still some things to improve, but as a judge, I'm satisfied with what we got. Not my favorite, but I'll be rooting for her all the same. Oh yeah, we haven't even gotten to, like, mixed third favorite level yet. Interesting. One of those swords from the creek and fight the bird. True, Magic Warrior, go help Grimspecs right now. Or not even right now, in the past. You can hop in your time machine, right? Everybody owns one of those. Get on that. You gotta stick together here in the Crash fan base. First stopped my fence. Only reason I ended up realizing it was there because my dog started chasing it and it just whoomp and flew. My dog realized how big it was. She wanted it back in the house immediately. Yeah, sometimes dogs pick on things a little bit too big for them. Chest is not really a pirate chest. Well, yeah, probably, but... jewelry case looked like a chest, had normal change, not like some crew rent. Let's see. So, fireworks, pennies, dimes, nickels, quarters. You know what I mean. Yeah, right, not too much, but still, neat find. They're special coins, and they have meaning to you, because they are sentimental, and that is awesome. Soft spot for spooky levels. Starting off, the aesthetics here are fantastic. The look of the custom enemies and stage itself are on point, fitting with the theme quite nicely. A little concerned at first when I saw the fog, thinking it would have eventually gotten distracting. It wasn't that bad. Yawn. I think it's really nicely put together. Usual introductory things. From there, the gimmicks steadily ramp up with room layouts that combine both to good effect. Even though the gimmicks themselves are simple, they still manage to be threatening thanks to smart placement. Yes, and the enemies back it up too, so it's not just pure platforming. but also they provide good breaks. So it's not just, you know, it's a good balance of actually having to do platforming and dodging stuff with enemy stuff. It's great. It's what you want to see here. Really, you have issue with the skeleton mets. Short window for when they can actually be hit, and the sheer frequency of their shots and the large spread makes them tough to deal with in certain rooms. I can kind of see that. They're not that bad, though. It's to the point where it feels like picking hit is near unavoidable. Nah. Besides that, the only other thing I take issue with here is the split paths, though to a much lesser extent. Due to there being a token in both. Yeah, which is kind of nasty. You can, yeah, die or retry to backtrack. Or you can just collect the one on the lower path and then backtrack. Yep. Banshee Woman easy. She oddly floats around. When she did get hits in, mostly with her scythe, they didn't seem to do enough damage to balance things out. I don't know. I got killed by her, so. Speaking of her scythe, this is also where the soul functionality issue of the stage comes into play. It's possible to delete the scythe. Yeah. That got deleted. All that being said, I think there's potential for a boss fight. It's just that it was a bit too passive with her not doing much. The rest of the level is still pretty good as well, so overall I like this one a lot. Yes, very good. I still thought the boss was great. Patchy? Really? With the 51? Come on now. Mixed messages, damn. Oh well. Could just tell everyone I counted Mothman. It wouldn't be completely untrue. Well, it's neither a moth, nor is it a man. I don't think you're gonna hit the even 50% on that one. You encountered Birdman. You could say you encountered Birdman. That works. Killed at low health doesn't count. Sorry, what are you talking about, sir? Speaking of scary animals, I recently learned the absolute horror of the depths. That is the Humboldt squid. Oh, you mean the giant terror squid, the colossal squid, the one that we haven't quite documented yet. And we still don't have good marine biology footage of because it lives in pressures so intense that we can't send people, but only robots down there, where there's no fucking no light either in the midnight zone. First shot at Banshee, killed at low health, doesn't count. Oh, okay. I didn't realize how little health I had when I first tried her. Huh. The giant squid, the squid I'm referring to is only 5 feet long. Oh, okay. So, only nightmare fuel, not actual nightmares. No, I think if I remember that thing correctly, it's still pretty horrifying. The sea is full of all sorts of weird critters, and I'm glad I don't live down there, so that way I can say, wow, that thing's fucked up. That makes it extra cool, actually. Huh. Yeah. No, Patchy seems to me has always had the most volatile score. Sometimes they go from, you know, random like 40s in tier 1 to random 50s in tier 14. I don't know. Their opinion's a little all over the place. Pretty atmospheric. None of that really screams Banshee specifically. Some sound gimmicks would have fit. Instead of Mesa swinging around and floor spikes popping up and down, you swap out Banshee Woman with something like Slasher Man, Dracu Man, or Frankenstein's Man. Stage theme would still fit. Fair. That's fair. It could be made a little bit better with more sound stuff. Maybe if the small ghost screamed at you, it would, that would work. Plus, it would also get you ready for Banshee Woman's Scream Invincibility attack, too. Level design is just that. Maces and floor spikes and mats, the setups do vary throughout the stage. A lot of time is spent waiting for things to line up. Really, not that inspired? I feel like the Iron Maiden mini should at least some sounds. It also doesn't trap you inside most of the time because its hitbox damages you before it triggers the trap state. Huh. Yeah. That's also fair. It did feel for a big enemy like that, it should have had at least some kind of sound effect for landing. Ghost enemies are fine concepts, very annoying to deal with because it's not easily lurable, unlike most airborne enemies. With how abundant they are, the fun factor definitely tanked from it. They were mostly cannon fodder from my perspective. Not sure what you're saying. Treated as enemies for some reason, meaning Spark Chaser actually tries to target them. Spark Chaser tries to target everything. You can't use Spark Chaser as a guide to how reliable or to how, enemy coded something is. Spark Chaser will chase after blocks. It'll chase after enemy balls. It'll chase after the weird enemies that you can shoot to make them move forward from the Game Boy games. That's a Spark Chaser problem, not a coding problem. The fake blocks also eat up Tornado Blow's hits, so the screen clearing weapon can fail to clear the screen when there are enemies above the said blocks. Ooh, that is kind of a difficult functionality thing. I didn't even use Tornado Blow, so rough. Aquarius Good Song has a short loop, didn't notice. Could have chosen the Circle of the Moon version, which has an extended portion. Banshee Woman, well, she screams like a banshee, oddly cute in 8-bit form. Being out of range, freely pummels on you with her scythe. Ooh, no weakness? That actually is kind of a polish problem. I would agree with that. That's probably an issue. Yeah, I also broke. Yeah, that got fixed. Alright. Oh, Patchy actually had some good points that I don't... that really would only have been brought up with distinct playtesting. So, fair. Just come close to them and start glowing red. Seems neat, right? The glow is basically them signaling to about 100 other squid that you are a free meal. oh dear. That, yikes. That is actually terrifying. Something that could easily catch someone off guard. I could see that being a plot to some kind of cheap action B movie where it's like, someone goes up, it's like, oh, how cute, the squid's glowing, that's so cute, and then the marine biologist side character's like, wait, no, it's signaling that we're that to its friends, we're gonna be lunch soon, and then dramatic music starts playing as 7 other Humboldt squids come into frame. I expect a lot from a level when its first screen is one of the most gorgeous in the contest. Aesthetically, this level is everything you wanted out of the haunted castle. Spooky fog, not just fog, but spooky fog. Enemies and gimmicks that look right at home, creepy details such as piles of skulls, adventurously intense soundtrack that pulls it all together, design technical polish only partially live up to expectations, pacing is an issue, rust introductions leave the level with no room to grow. After the first checkpoint, the player has basically seen everything the level has to offer, difficulty more or less plateaus, because the challenge's complexity is already at a comfortable limit. Really? I think it kept going up pretty nicely. Distance between checkpoints is awkward, just right, then suddenly short, then unusually long. Yeah, I did get kind of caught off guard by the last one being unusually long, but to be fair, it was the last screen, so not that big of a deal. Weapon-related playtesting is an issue. Indestructible hazards reflect attacks from some weapons, but appear to take damage from others. Destructible blocks are oddly susceptible to deflected shots. And Rush's teleportation beam. Oh, that's... oh man, Flashman, the things you managed to playtest. Banshee Woman's fight is a slog with the Buster. Really? It's not that bad. She just gives up if you block her scythe with Water Shield, which ruins the fight and potentially renders it unwinnable if she's out of reach and you're low on weapon energy. Other issues include slightly unclear directionality, some questionable layout logistics, and skewed power-up distribution. Anything that isn't an issue is really good. Challenge components are arranged deftly and timed well. Slow metal projectiles are refreshingly tricky. Throws are used effectively, and the ball and chain setups are especially satisfying. The fog is almost too bright and prevalent, but I appreciate a light-based visibility challenge that doubles as atmosphere. The secret rooms are fun to find. I like that the ghosts are inspired by Battle Network. Oh yeah, they are. And suddenly shift from harmless to get away from me! The Iron Maiden is excellent. There's great attention to detail, the level really shines. They're also very prone to eating their own kind. Over 50% of recovered specimens have chewed up squid inside of them. Well, when you're that deep down, you might not notice, your fellow man is a corpse that you're chewing on. Cthulhu is real, and it turns out it does not want to suck your dick. But it turns out he's actually multiple smaller squid instead of a giant squid monster. It's kind of more of a Dracula situation. You know how Dracula is actually just like 500 bats in a trench coat? Cthulhu is just 500 Humboldt squids in a trench coat. 500 Humboldt squids. Not a lot to complain about gameplay-wise. The overall aesthetic and atmosphere in the stage is top-notch. Clearly a ton of effort went into this. Multiple paths sometimes hurt a level. Not the case here. Jaws 7. It closed now. That feels like it could be some good parody box art. I like that. Dracula's actually just a Mega Man devil, but bat-themed. If a large Mega Man account made that tweet, that would be a hit tweet right there, Grim. I'm just saying. All Mega Man bosses are actually, all Mega Man bosses are actually, Devil or, or Elect Man. And, you could, I don't know, I'd have to think about that concept, but there's an extra joke in there about that. It's like, oh, you might think it's Devil at first, but actually it's this boss. And the inverse goes for this one, too. Stage is top-notch, ton of effort went into it, multiple paths, good. Doesn't fall to the Mega Man 6 problem and has assets that show up on a side path and never again. It all gels together, and I never really got the impression any given path was weaker than the others. Broken bricks that block, that's hard to say. The broken bricks that block your entrance could have been rather mean and resembled the rest of the level tiles too much. But they don't. They stand out enough that these paths are granted entrance to the player by simply paying attention, which is good. In graphics, the only part of the aesthetic that lets down is, ironically, due to programming. Stage elements are often rendered in a sub-pixel manner, leading to rather uncanny-looking graphics as they move. Yes, maybe the ball and chains looked a little too smooth, but I think that's fine. Smooth motion is acceptable in the modern era of Mega Man. You'd find it as distracting as assets that look outside the style of the stage they're in. Still, the rest of the graphic work is gorgeous. The parallax and fog is giving it depth. Pixel work is fantastic. Ghosts or Battle Network. Banshee Woman herself is a bit on the easy side, unlike some bosses such as Cyberman from MaGMML3, where the lack of difficulty hurts the fight. This isn't so bad. I think her tells are just that good, are just that good that dodging quickly becomes an afterthought. She's an interesting boss with some interesting attacks, doesn't outlive her welcome despite staying out of range for large portions of it. Combining metals with swinging maces that also block your shots often gets annoying. Yeah, I did break out the laser trident there once. All critiques aside, fantastic level. Wow, good ace takes. I like his criticisms. How surprising. Retweet for you to post. I can figure one out, yeah. Sequel to Actually It's Cake. Actually It's Devil Boss. Yeah, exactly. Cake Devil. Be careful what you wish for. Otherwise, Revenge of Bakery Man's gonna come back in the next patch for this game. Mark my words, I will break this treadmill, and they will throw me out, and I will be happy about it. Oh shit. Presto's becoming ungovernable. That doesn't seem like a really safe thing to do. Do I look like I care? It's the thrill of the hunt, baby. I'm convinced. I'm gonna join you in on this. Look, Presto, I can actually outpace you. Lame. Hey, Quick Man, what's up? Kidding me? Why is Presto here, of all people? Well, I guess they're a competitor in the tournament, but look, just don't want to see their stupid face, okay? Yeah, I agree. I can't believe it, but I'm agreeing with Quickman. Fresh, that's not my name. Propeller Woman in the city in the clouds. Maybe you probably could have just went with Propeller Woman. Also, this might be the longest streak of X-Woman levels we've actually had so far. Kind of odd. Might also be the longest streak of, you know, X-Man levels, if you want to call it that, too. Ooh. That's cool. City in the clouds. We got Coruscant back there. I like the wind indicators. I don't really quite remember what Aircon Man stage looked like, but this does kind of look a little Aircon Man coded to me. I mean, obviously the air, and then obviously the propellers, but something else about the graphics too also feels that way. Oh, I was just about to say, I don't see the point of these enemies, and then they got me. Let's see, I do kind of wish you retained rush bike momentum after switching weapons. It'd be super cool to implement for speedruns. I mean, oh god. This loud-ass enemy again. If you want to do that, we could have a speedrun category where it's like, actually, I don't know if does the cheat apply when There's the one cheat that allows you to switch weapons and have them still linger after you're done with them. I could see that, you know, being a way to manifest that. It's a shame if it probably doesn't do that, because who the hell actually tested mixing Rush Bike with other mechanics? But that would be really cool, honestly. Get some more tech in there. Good use of platforms just ramming themselves right into death. Surely one of these is going to hide like a dev room in them or something, right? Okay, a little bit annoyed by this jump, but made it work. I don't remember those things being able to gain altitude in Mega Man 9. Okay, I was making that jump way harder on myself. Excellent. Wouldn't be a crash stream without me making something harder on myself. Rule 63 Mega Man Yi. It was pretty good. Big Star Wars fan I see. Best spin is the Cloud City. Damn it. You're right. That's actually true. You saying that reminds me that I have failed. Now I can no longer claim myself as a true nerd. I guess it's confession time. I have been to a gym at multiple points in my life. And I know everything that's going on in this tier. I understand all of the references. I actually don't. I actually have never been to a gym in my life. The stream title is not a lie. I don't, I'm not exactly... God, just please Spark Chaser, save my ears. Not exactly an athletic person. So much so to the point where, I used to say I'm not a sportsy person, and that really shows how unathletic I am. I don't know. I'm already a very sweaty, a stereotypically sweaty Italian man, and going to the gym only makes that worse. Only exercise I can truly handle for long periods of time is swimming, because, well, no sweat at that point. But, you know, thankfully I otherwise have a decent figure, so I don't have to worry too much about it. Yeah, I kind of want that. Literally call it Cloud City in the movie. It's been a bit. I didn't want to go quite that easy, but it would have been too easy just to say Cloud City. Had to go with something and humiliate myself in the process. Uh-oh. Tried to give Water Shield a chance. No. Never give Water Shield a chance. It will always disappoint you. That's not a fair assessment, though. Water Shield's cool. Ow. Okay. Hey, I'm starting to feel a little sick of this stage. Now, I guess all the things are being, you know, all the enemies are being put to competent use. But, you know, with this little cannon guy being right out of shot, this thing being right in the way, I guess it's cool that it tries to trap the platform on you. But it doesn't always succeed in that, and so that's kind of throwing off my rhythm. And then this is going to be... There's a lot of instant death around this too, which is annoying. And why does the wind suddenly die there? And then, yeah, this section is a lot to do. With wind constantly going at you. Yeah, this is starting to drag a little bit. Another fine addition to my collection, General Kenobi. I have collected the four elements of the world. General Kenobi was actually just on an RPG quest. Just needed to collect a bunch of lightsabers to, you know, save the kingdom. And General Kenobi was just, you know, too quick to judge to hear him out. I hate these things. I hate these things. They not only did it have in my ears, but they also just jump right out of my way. Okay. Jeez, there we go. And still no checkpoint. Alright. Better not die. No, stop. Stop making noise. That's a bit... That's kind of rude. That's awkward button timing to get down. I don't like that. 7 KS lightsabers so he can transform into Super Kenobi. Yeah, cool like Yawa was in 2 and 3. I don't really know what's necessarily happened to him, but... It's a shame we don't get more Grievous. He was easily the coolest character to play in the LEGO Star Wars games. Those were foundational to my childhood, playing that game with my dad a lot. And just the fact that he had 4 lightsabers swinging around in cool spinny motions is like, yeah, automatic pick for a child's favorite. Ace Windu gave him bronchitis. I mean, yeah, I guess technically that is what happened, isn't it? Okay. Alright. No, fuck! Ah! Okay. My patience has run out on this level. I am no longer going to give it a Buster mostly shake. In fact, I'm going to get so impatient that I'm going to fall into this pit again. Yeah, not enjoying this one as much now. This one's too laden with just instant death everywhere. And also, a lot of patience. Like, a lot of patience. Also, it is a bit weird that the wind gimmick keeps changing every single time. Like, or changing without notice. Like, it does kind of just transition in between blowing right and blowing up and then blowing diagonal or down on you. It's not like it's that hard to adjust to, but still, it's noteworthy. Also, having to make blind faith jumps like that, like trusting that the cloud platform's gonna show up. That's not cool. Also, kind of having almost the inverse of a pop-up enemy, or well, pop-up enemy that's on the actual blocks of the level. Not cool. And with the fact that the wind is so strong, you're probably very, very likely to get knocked into a pit the moment that you, dodge it. Okay, also, without my intervention, or my episode there, being stuck at the, that one checkpoint, this would have been an amazingly short level. Like, that was nothing after that segment. Pacing is off here. Pacing is very off. Alright, Propeller Woman, show me what you got. You can be blue, I can be blue too. That was a fucking sad display. Don't try to use Ice Ball. I mean, I know I shouldn't have, but it seemed ill-suited to the boss. But it was fun. I think it's as useful as a tech as poop jumping. How could you ever have anything more useful than poop jumping? Oh, okay. Alright, Papyrus. Papyrus. We get it. Yeah, I probably could have tried that Buster only just to give her a fair shake, but... No, I'm pretty thoroughly done with that level, thank you. Oh man, a Bomberman duplicate. So, cool aesthetics front again, but... Yeah, that midsection was like way too instant death happy. And the entire stage was way too spike happy, frankly. The bird nest enemies, the things shooting the eggs, weather vanes. What the hell were those things in hindsight? Those got very annoying very quickly. A lot of precise jumps to wind through, and that last cannon right before the checkpoint where I was like getting stuck at, that's mean. Like, that is a mean, like, press and like jump and release test to put on the player. If you don't get rid of it, you're not gonna be able to clear the jump. Also, you can't cheese this with a charge shot or something. Like, that's not cool right at the end of a segment that sends you way the fuck back if you die at any point during it. I did not like that at all. Get ready, the Spyro Pegasussy. I don't know, Grim, you sound a little sus right now. And I don't know, Propeller Woman was probably cool, but I was not giving her the time of day after the end of that. And then the pacing of the stage is off, the difficulty curve was off. Not my favorite. I would have... This felt more like a tier 13 level. One that I didn't enjoy so much. But let's see if the judges can maybe lift my opinions a little bit. We have an air stage. Propeller Woman is basically what we've come to expect from the classic archetype. Type platforming, wind effects, death pits. A whole lot of blue. Doesn't reinvent the wheel. Still solid. Gimmicks are strong. Yeah, the wind is at least nicely telegraphed, so I can appreciate that. Cloud platforms are the best part of the stage, while the constant enemy death noises can be jarring. Their usage is strong. Enemy death noises? Oh yeah, from them ramming in their face into spikes the entire time. Personal highlights: the 4-platform room with all the spikes midway through the level, which is both nerve-wracking and fun. It's cool. It's not so cool when you're doing it for like the 7th time. Enemies are a bit more mixed. Custom enemies were solid. Hands fire a smidge too often. Glitches when propeller consistently not firing when it spawned. However, Gabriel and Balloonaboo feel underutilized, rarely in a position where they're likely to use their full toolset. Big issue is the imbalance in deaths and checkpoints. So spikes are generally non-lethal. It's still easy for a misstep to send you into a pit. Yes, why bother using non-instant death spikes at that point? Length of time between checkpoints tends to sting. The biggest example is the auto-scroll into the final section. They're both fine on their own, but trying to do both in one sitting can make the auto-scroll tedious and reflects poorly on an otherwise solid experience. Propeller Woman herself makes up for it. She seems like a typical wind robot master at first glance, though she benefits a lot from personality and proper telegraphing. Gets to half health, a desperation move, followed by an upgraded moveset. It's very Mega Man 11. Appreciate that. Between that and her expression, she's one of the more memorable normal bosses. The stage is a bit rough around the edges. Propeller Woman himself is great. I'm looking forward to a rematch. Don't need to reinvent the wheel. You call it the tire. All I'm saying is give Crypto Bros a reason to invest in the wheel, and they will reinvent it. And they'll make it a personal travel device somehow. They'll make it even more isolationist than cars. There are two things that really knocked the level down for me: the checkpoints and some very annoying jumps. If not for those, I think this would have been a better stage. That said, it does have some good aspects. Aesthetics are nice. Introductions to each enemy and gimmick are for the most part laid out well. The first half of the stage has good challenges, overall enjoyable. Once the second half kicks in, a problem starts to arise in the form of a severe difficulty spike. Jumping challenges quickly fluctuate between easily manageable to obnoxiously tight with no middle ground. Yep. May lead to an overly tight jump across pits, starting from a platform with a very low ceiling. If you're going Buster only, you also need to take out a flying turret mid-jump. 2 instances of falling into a small opening while having to avoid hitting spikes lined up along the wall. A setup that I've always found frustrating to deal with ever since Jewel Man's level. Yes, indeed. If it wasn't for the boss fight, I'd probably be a lot harsher on this stage. Propeller Woman was a bit tough to get used to at first, but unlike her level, I actually found her fun and fair. You get some decent leeway for avoiding her attacks. I'd say the only one that borders on being overly strict is a certain pattern where she summons wind from both sides of the screen. And we need to slide beneath them. I think that's fine. That aside, the fight is pretty fun once you get the hang of it. I just wish it wasn't such a pain to reach her. City of Cloudsville, but enough about that. Stage that started out strong, but the experience kind of took a nosedive the further it went on. Yeah, it sure did. For the Cryptid Bros, they like to talk about Nessie and Jackalopes, or Crypto Bros, who really enjoy Superman's dog. Or crypt-o-bros who really like to talk about, you know, haunted places, dead guys. You know, they're really into the macabre, that kind of thing. As far as win levels usually go, they usually suffer the problems of overly precise jumps. Yes, they do. And the stage is unfortunately no exception. Main cause of the dent in the fun score. When particles can look pretty, they can be visually hindering in some areas. Also, an animation delay when the player enters a new room. The actual wind is already in effect before the animation starts, causing the player to be unable to adapt to the environment. Yeah, I guess that's possible, but I have good reaction speed, so it doesn't actually bother me that much. Curving direction the particles flow and screens with horizontal pushing can get confusing. Yeah, you would think that would lead to, you know, some vertical stuff, but it does look a little bit more natural that way. Propeller Woman, while being an overall fine, fast-paced, learnable fight, ultimately left a bad taste in my mouth by the tedium of retrying the section before the end of the stage over and over. Yes. The boss arena also uses death pits that you can get pushed into. It doesn't fit the whole Sky City theme, in my opinion. Yeah, it seems a little bit less wondrous and whimsical than it should be. Then again, it is also deadly, so... Don't mind stupidly hard difficulty as long as it's fair and surmountable with sufficient practice and ingenuity. I don't think that's a very good opinion to have, Flashman. I will hard disagree with you on that one. You should not ever get to the point of it being stupidly hard difficulty. You can have hard difficulty, things you need to practice to get good at. It should never reach to the point of wanting to call it stupidly hard. Screen that's count those ideal sporadic power-ups, such niceties as warning for incoming arrow projectiles. Level feels very manageable. I don't know. I'm gonna say L take on this one, Flashman. Where's Ilvo? We need his opinion on this. Or Crypt Joe's, which is just Flashman's fan game, but it's his basement. His goon cave. Oh boy. I don't need to think about Flashman's goon cave, but that's a funny joke. I'm getting tired of Sniper Joe's. When are we getting Sniper Jose? I don't know. We had opportunities for Desperado Man and Sheriff Man, but I guess those kind of got, you know, thrown out the window. Getting weird with it now. I don't want to think about his goon cave. Exactly. Flashman's he's just such a wholesome family man. He gives off the vibes of the, you know, the resurgence of good guy Superman memes that are coming out again. He doesn't quite have that energy. If we had bigger degenerates on the judge panel, it would make more sense, but you're just well informed. So true. This is the burden of knowledge, thinking about people's goon caves. Okay. Niceties such as this, blah blah blah. Long load times, a few sections that are pure murder without special weapons. Yeah. And nearly excellent checkpoint placement. Nearly excellent checkpoint placement? Okay. I can forgive a couple of minor custom asset glitches, a few unnecessary bottomless pits that read as alternate paths, and the feeling that the level could have ended right after the exciting auto-scrolling section because it's my kind of level. Really? From the aesthetics, Little Nemo's a great choice with the music. The graphics look Capcom. Building stuff perfectly conveys the direction of the wind gimmick, and I enjoy how the fluff suddenly drops from the sky upon death or a screen transition. I don't like that. I think that's bad. That's not, because that means the level like completely stops without Mega Man there. That's not how life goes. Mega Man might be the protagonist, but he's not the engine of the entire, you know, film. Resonates with me most. This is a platforming level requiring precise timing and a mastery of the movement physics to succeed. Full construction enemy roster complements challenges. Fight with Propeller Woman demands a certain nimbleness in line with the rest of the level. Numerous strategies to lower the difficulty. Foolishness is to raise the difficulty by favoring the buster. Nailing the outrageous position is satisfying. Huh. Yeah, usually it's not Flashman giving an overly generous review like that. I have noticed, it does, of all the judges, okay, opinions are still this. Mick, is probably the most balanced judge and consistent of all of them. I almost always feel like mixed opinions are fair, and there's just usually 1 or 2 times where he has a level that just isn't his thing. And, you know, I agree with his judgment, even if I'm, you know, maybe think it's a little bit better, a little bit lower. I think he's a good average score. Shinryu tends to be a little harsher, and I tend to like that. Tends to get a little, you know, bogged down by the same things that I do. Patchy is kind of sporadic, the wild card. Sometimes they score pretty high, sometimes they score unusually low. Flashman is also usually consistent with, like, large amounts of things, but he just has the occasional blip that's just, like, wrong, and I don't understand where he gets this sometimes. Not even wrong by just my standards, wrong by his own standards. Like, I feel like on a different day, he would have a different opinion of this, of some things. And then Ace is just, like, I don't know. Ace has weird shit that bothers him. And sometimes, like, those things just manifest and make for a strange review. In the dark side of superhero stories, you know they are not all family-friendly and wholesome. Well, yeah, of course, but, you know, there's the good guy Superman meme, and that's what I'm referring him to. I'm sure there's another side that we don't see on the internet of him, of Flashman. Yeah, and that's why they wanted it. I mean, it's good that they're all varied, but it is, I don't know. Some of the eccentricities stand out in a strange way. Patchies and Flashmans can stand out to me a lot. Ace Sparks is still, like... Patchies and Flashmans stand out to me a lot, are fair. Ace Sparks are sometimes kind of like, I'm not sure how fair this is, but, you know, it's not that off the mark. It's good that they're all different judges. You want actually, you know, diversity in the panel. You don't want everybody sitting, you know, just looking for one thing. Basic review in a nutshell. Pretty level graphics, cute new enemies, good vertical areas, challenging but solid boss. Peeling back the nutshell. I wouldn't describe nutshell as being something to peel back. While some straggle the frustration line, the enemies do a good job being a threat without crossing that line of bullish design. Thankful seeing how the entire stage is more or less over a death pit. Entire stages get spent getting knocked off are often the most unfun experiences of platformer. Yeah, you don't say! Special mention goes to the little arrow signal that shows in the little stationary dude. Probably the stationary lamp thing? Yeah. It shows where they are off screen. Yeah, it's pretty good. Welcome back, Coolest. I think I have about 1 more level in me for the night, so you came back at a good time. Mixed judges' comments feel like you didn't make good use of the Schwarpums and Glee, please. I really liked how the Florkums were used in Screen 4, though. This goes on a great deal to preventing stuff. Not a fan of the segments where you need to weave into an indented floor whilst just avoiding the spikes lining the wall. Once might have been fine, but this was a pace-killing trend given their placements. Yeah, it definitely was. Nothing to mention is the gimmicks. The wind's introduced well, it's impossible to miss after all, and it helps make so many otherwise plain areas thrilling. Yeah, the wind is good with the platforming things. Combining with the rising auto-scroller is inspired. It is, but you are also mostly making blind jumps during that auto-scroller. It's not cool. It's a little bit mean to do to the player. Even the basic depressed cloud platforms get more or less they're fully explored in their setups here. Excellent work with the platforming. Propeller Woman is a step up in difficulty compared to her stage. I don't know. I didn't bust her, only her, so maybe is a different opinion if I did, but her stage was a lot. Solid Robot Master fight. She will probably kill the player a few times. Take some learning. Okay. Much appreciate the restraint, not requiring the player to drain an entire second health bar to reach your second phase. Sequence of air shooters that signifies this phase change only happens once. Thank goodness, given the hardest thing to avoid in the fight. Yeah, it would have been too much. Also, she would have been, you know, outside of shootable distance. Traffic. Fair enough. It's what happens. Hey, Bounce Man. You know the routine here. Work until you sweat. Flex those muscles. Stretch those calves. If you have any of those, that is. If you're a robot like me, then I'm very sorry, but I'm out of advice. Well, hold on. If I'm a robot like you, then I can stretch my everything. I'm a robot unlike you. I can't stretch my anything. Anyways, that patch looks suspicious as hell. These actual blocks? No, just maybe some indicators? Oh, wait, that is where we go next. Huh, okay, I'm gonna just pretend I didn't see that screen and come back to it another time. The ladder? Oh. Yeah, it's a rock climbing wall, huh? Alright, I wasn't sure how to interpret this. This looked like just candy on... This looked like... This looks like those, you know those dot candies that taste like wax and they're just like on a piece of paper and like, I don't know, they're not great in my opinion. That looked like those candies on some kind of like etchwork background. I wasn't sure what the hell I was looking at. I get it's a rock climbing wall now. Kind of cool to have an 8-way climbable rock wall though. Still. Or ladder, I mean. Malware Man. Ooh, that sounds fun. Candy wall at the gym. Look, I wasn't thinking about the fact that I'm a gym. Have the tears mattered half the time in this fucking game? No, they haven't. Only sometimes it's been like, oh wow, there's like a nature level in the nature area. Help, my computer has been hacked. You sound pretty calm for that, Dr. Light. This is likely to doing a malware man who lives in cyberspace. Yeah, I guess so. Built this teleporter to take you directly to his hideout, so please, take out Malware Man and fix my computer. No period. Oh, this is kind of weird. We're getting into, Hold on, was that something in the corner I could go and fuck with? No, that's just probably a wall. Okay, never mind. We're getting into kind of odd text and grammar again. Oh, no, we got a good fake out, maybe. Made you teleport here, and now you're trapped. Mwahaha! Don't try finding me unless you wish to be scrapped. Sure. London's such a troll when it comes to traffic. I wouldn't know, but I could imagine. It probably has that good old city design where nothing's on a grid system, and despite how awful the grid system can be at times, it is probably not making things better. Urgent, man. Yeah. I think... Well, Dr. Light's even cheaper than that. He just went to Mega Man. Like, he didn't even want to install bootleg software. He was just like, you know. Just get Mega Man to do it. But also, very cool. I love the advertisements. I recognize the Siva Gunner Woodman. Gonna get all the porn ads in Light's PC. Yeah, maybe a little bit. He probably should have deleted his search history. But, I mean, to be fair, it is just his computer, right? No one else is logging onto it. Now we... It's talking about Goon Caves only 5 minutes ago. Now we get to see Dr. Light's Goon Cave. For music NES mix. Wouldn't have picked up on that. 11, still hell. Yikes. Complete the following offer to claim you a free Trickster token. Fall down the sheep block tower. Yeah, alright. That's about what I would have done. Why he hates them. What? I guess I probably should have thought about that. I was too distracted by just wanting to look at the Mega Man Sprite comic for longer. Dr. Light thought there was hot robot masters in that area. Well, hello, Alan. And you saw that there was a hot PNG tuber in your area, and that's why you came over this way. I have to focus up here a little bit. I fucked up immediately. Cool. Or it's X5 final stage music. Which one is it? Don't describe yourself as hot. Well, why not? I think I should. I need to, you know, eventually I gotta get my freak on, you know? Hot robots near you. Yeah, see, there's one, like, right here, watching you. Okay. Oh, and there was no... Man, the ads are actually really good at just being distracting. Like, just genuinely distracting from the, like, the task at hand. I'm so busy reading them that I'm not focusing at all on the spikes that they're obscuring. They're actually working perfectly as advertisements. I can't believe that's actually working on me. Done for an old game idea. It's a hella good one. Ads respawn. Okay, interesting. All right, cool token challenge. Let's see. That's the point. Hot Crash Robot gets railed by stage spikes. Yeah, true. You should have seen me getting absolutely shafted by bottomless pits in the last stage. Oh, I actually have to hit the X. All right, that makes sense. I don't know how I've been accidentally hitting the X the entire time getting rid of these things. All right, and these are very much a don't bother shooting them kind of enemy. Thought I could make that. Okay, the literal last stage in X5. Okay. It's been a while. It's been a while, and I try to purge X5 from my memory as much as possible. The Mega Man MS Paint game, yes. This is from, wait, maybe the M or E tanks, or are you talking about the two wonderful individuals here with you know, the best dental hygiene in the world? Oh fuck, I didn't mean to do that. There's a ladder from Mega Man Sprite game. Getting some Rule 34 art, getting some ideas to Rule 34 artists. I see. Maybe just a bit. They can have a few ideas as a treat. I mean, I may have already asked my friend Dirtnulk, who draws my thumbnails and drew my model, to maybe just offhandedly draw me pregnant, and he did. And then he also has drawn other things in a much more serious and flirty manner, saucy manner, we could say. I'm open to the idea. Bro, hold on, back up. No. You heard me the first time. Claim your free Trickster token, complete the following offer. Make it across the Tomahawk platform obstacle course. Okay. Surely it can't be that bad. That's it, yeah, so that's Mega Man Sprite game. A very famous fucking mockery of the Mega Man series, or parody of the Mega Man series. God, I love that game so much. Only X5 fan in the world, I'm offended. It's the only X6 fan. Both of you can clearly just take me on in a fight because, you know, as the biggest X6 X hater in the world, I don't know if I could stand up to either of you. Anyways, if you want to see the cursed art I was just talking about, go look at Dirtnulk on Twitter. He is linked in the description. And he posts maybe too much other shit, but you can eventually, you know, you can eventually find me in there. Okay, there we go. Got the platforming just right. Fuck. Okay. I probably should have seen that coming. Ultra Mega Crash, destroyer of X games. See, that would imply that I'm actually good at the X games and could, you know, destroy them in the metaphorical sense. I could probably barely destroy them in the literal sense. Enjoying the stream Dirtnulk was doing. There is no thumbnail warning. Ugh, my eyes. Come on, Alan. You've seen a little bit of homoerotic coded pornography in your life before. I'm sure this isn't the worst thing in the world. Some other research to do. Perfect that this comes up in Malware Man's stream, third level. This is all because we talked about seeing fucking Dr. Light's search history. Funny where things can lead you. Oh, there's only one block there. Interesting. I love softcore. I told you to leave this place if you move so much as one screen closer. I'm going to have to send in my cursors. The fucking face on that thing is great. I feel like... I have my doubts that it's true, but I'm starting to wonder if this was made by the guy who made Mega Man Sprite game. Because the humor and the art style is starting to come off exactly right. Even down to the, like, tactical lack of punctuation in certain places in the text boxes. Also, I actually enjoy that these stupid mouse pointers are invincible. They didn't actually get enough time to, you know, do their thing in the, Mega Man 10. Alright, you're a little bit in the way there, friend. Wanna move? Oh, give it some time. Dodge out of the way here. Get the health. Alright, sweet, cool. Over 50,000 nightmare souls. Oh my god. You really are a machine. That sounds like a sadistic task. Never wish that upon anybody in the Mega Man fandom. Good combination of the mouse cursor there with that boss. I like that. Find all the key coins to claim your free trickster token. Okay, I guess we're playing Mario Maker now. You think this is funny? In a cosmic sort of way, yes. Telling you to stop or else there will be consequences. No. Clear wood, which is somewhat suspiciously close to Prototad. It's weird that happened. What a crazy coincidence. Alright, come on, Spark Chaser, do your job. Yeah! We love Spark Chaser. We don't, but, you know, we're gonna pretend. Fuck. Alright. You flattened me. Alright. Key coin ahoy. Spikes ahoy. Doing 1 push-up per nightmare soul collected. Oh, okay, so like you're ripped. You're ripped as hell is what you're trying to tell me. Okay, this level is actually making me put in the focus now at this point. These are some good fucking platforming challenges. Okay, alright, so my praise for the mouse cursor still stands. It is maybe getting a little bit annoying. The timing does not work out well on these things. Also, I'm not sure how to make that jump. It seems a little bit far. Maybe, I probably deleted something without even thinking of it. Besides, cut my life into pieces, man, weapon? Who the hell are you talking about? What kind of Mega Man game are you playing? Best Mega Man weapon... Oh, let's see. Absolute best one? Oh yeah, I got knocked off. That's kind of annoying there. That's hard to say. There's a lot of really good Mega Man weapons. I would have to say... I mean, it's probably something in Mega Man 9. Maybe Black Hole Bomb? I'm probably gonna go with Black Hole Bomb. There's no chance I can't just... Alright, well that aggroed all of them, but at least the ads are gone. Yeah, best is probably Black Hole Bomb. Favorite? I don't know, which one do I like to play with the most? I really am privy to Power Stone. I like it for some reason. I think Napalm Bomb or Crash Bomb are honestly my favorite weapons. They're definitely not the best ones, but they're still, I don't know, there's something fun and charming about playing with them, to me. Come on. Get outplayed, big guy. You haven't been relevant since the slide was invented. Since Slide Man invented the slide. It's terrible damage scaling. I love Flame Sword. I am... Hello. Oh, Malware Man is not ready to face you. Here's an energy element. You can use it to fix Dr. Light's computer. Oh, that's a shame. You didn't actually get to fight Malware Man, but, you know. Time limits and all that. I really wish the Mega Man 8 didn't have weird physics, because otherwise I would really like the game a lot. I like the addition of the laser shot. I like the ability to swim. I like, what else about Mega Man 8 do I like? Graphics, honestly, kind of nice. I like them a lot. Even if, you know, we do kind of stray away from the pixel-perfect clarity of the rest of the series. You know, the voice acting could be better, but, you know, having voice acting itself is not a bad thing, as Mega Man 11 has proven to us. Yeah, I wish Mega Man 8 was fundamentally, just had better physics, because it's fundamentally solid, but otherwise I just don't feel like playing it ever again, because it feels like I'm moving through molasses the entire time. Malware Man was pretty good stage. You know, pretty standard graphics, you know, right out of the box, you can use them. Enemies were really cool. I like the use of the ads. They actually serve the same purpose that an actual ad would have in real life, and that's kind of unique. So I really appreciated that. What else? Token challenges were good. They were nice spikes in difficulty without being too crazy. So it was good to have those off the beaten path. Challenge progression was alright. I think maybe it wasn't... I guess it did get a little bit more difficult towards the end, just because they actually... integrated the key coin challenge with the final path challenge really nicely. Red and Big Eye at the end did feel kind of awkward and out of nowhere, but you know, it's fine. Having no Malware Man to fight is definitely disappointing. I wish there was one there with all the character build-up he was given, so that sucks, but you know, what's there is solid. I had a good time with it, and the energy kept me going, so yeah. Good level. I think I probably maybe like the first two entries with Cable Woman and whoever was right before her a little bit more though. Hot robots near you. Wily hates them. Free E-tanks. No scam. Yeah. Good grief. No happier than that. Dr. Light's ad block is terrible. The pop-ups are nothing short of hilarious. I adore how well they work in the level. I also appreciate the humor that is freetrickstertokens.com. Individual challenges were just plain fun. Key token was a bit off, though. Collecting every coin leaves you with an extra, so it's pinch broken. Oh, I didn't notice that. Aesthetic of Flame Sword is pretty good. Quick Boomerang Silver Tomahawk. I like Silver Tomahawk for its power, and it's very useful in Mega Man 6. It's a bit awkward to learn, but it tends to be pretty good to just smack things with. Quick Boomerang I wish was stronger. That's kind of my only, you know, opinion. If it was maybe stronger, maybe hit a little bit further of a reach, but I understand what they were going for with it. Remote Mine. Remote Mine's pretty cool. Though it's been a while since I played Mega Man at base. Didn't find exactly many uses for it. Triple Blade. I mean, Triple Blade's the best weapon in Mega Man 10, so... yeah. Screw Crusher and Ballad Cracker, excellent. Well, yeah, I'm not counting those. Oh, well, not even just talking about them in Mega Man 10 in the original games. They are pretty cool. Nearly cheating, but Hell Wheel from 4MI because speed. Yeah, it's a pretty good modification of the thing. Let's see here. The sheet blocks are decent by themselves. They work really well in tandem with the Wall Blaster and, of course, pop-ups. Virus Mines are a nice twist on the Splash Woman's Mines. They hit the right mix of longevity and speed. Tomahawk platforms are a little less interesting. The combos with sheet blocks are something I haven't seen before. Yeah, that's true. They actually work surprisingly well together. Although there is kind of that one screen where I pretty easily, you know, locked myself out of going forward because I got rid of one of the blocks and I got knocked off. It sucks. Malware cursors provide an excellent halfway twist that makes things more difficult. The Adamski doesn't add much besides being obnoxiously loud. Otherwise, Malware Man's level is super fun. Ends on a really sour note. Boss corridor with no boss. Would you rather have infinite boss corridor with no boss or infinite boss corridor with no boss corridor? With the level before was super creative. The way it just ends was disappointing. Wasn't much reason to not have a boss. Twin Cannon worked pretty well with just one extra malware cursor. So I'm sure Malware Man could have been a reskinned dev kit boss with some extra minions. So with 30 robot masters alone, I'm sure something would have worked. Would it have been perfect? No, probably not, but it would have improved over nothing. Still, for all my issues with the complete lack of boss fight, the level before it was still fun. So to see an actual Malware Man encounter. Or my turns fair shot into a chargeable contra spread gun and ends up being the worst weapon in that game. Imagine that. Yeah, with everything else, you know, it's like, what if everything in this game was completely fucking broken? I should actually play 4MI at some point. I just remember watching a Let's Play of it like 13 years ago. It would be hella rad. A little surprised it's taken us this long to get to a level based on more traditional adware computer viruses. It's a fun concept to be sure, and I'd say this stage uses it to good effect. How it uses sheet blocks. I found the challenges based around them to be quite fun, especially for the first token. The layouts aren't all that complex, they still manage to be engaging thanks to there being other things to look for out there. Either by needing to time your jumps right, or by dodging enemy bullets. Yes. I also combined rather well with the other gimmicks. Speaking of which, while I'm not usually a fan of screen-obscuring gimmicks, I'm willing to give the pass to the pop-up ads for a few reasons. They don't take up that much room to begin with, and that you can actually get rid of them. And they're thematically fitting, too. It's perfect. Floating enemies to home in on you. While I don't mind the general functionality behind them, it feels like they linger around for way too long before eventually exploding. While this couldn't be a problem normally, or wouldn't be a problem normally, considering how slow they are, the rooms they show up in tend to be somewhat cramped. If you accidentally hit one, there's a decent chance of it cornering you with no way to avoid it. Yeah, I did notice that a couple times. Them being completely invulnerable did make for some difficulty. And the tracking was kind of wonky. The ending. Simply put, Malware Man should have been an actual fight. Naming your level after Robot Master immediately sets up expectations for the immediate battle with them. Not to deliver on that is a major letdown. While I get the joke that he's not a fighter, if his NPC dialogue is anything to go by, it doesn't really make up for the disappointing ending. There was a well-designed boss fight at the end. I could see this being one of the better semi-vanilla stages in the contest. Unfortunately, the anticlimax drags it down. Yeah, I gotta agree. You're the 1 millionth player! Congratulations! You won! Rumors of my demise via acts of God have been greatly exaggerated, but I thank you for your care. Yeah, no, I figured it would probably be just good to, check in on you. I figured you have, your own reasons for not streaming certain, right now and stuff like that, but, I just haven't heard from you in a bit, and I was just trying to make sure that, you're all right out there in hurricane country. So, yeah. Let me know when you actually do want to do the whole X-Co commentary collaboration thing. I'm kind of booked through for October, but once November hits, I'll be good to do that again. Not saying we have to start doing it in November, but, that's the time frame I'm working on. For my and Rockman 5 Air Sliding are both great. I've also heard Mega Man 6 Indonesian Artifact's good too, but I haven't played it. I never heard of that last one. I should actually try that out blind. So in the day we actually get an amazing Mega Man 1 hack, it's gotta be out there. Mega Man 1 has some, interesting little engine quirks that could probably make for a really good game. Issue streaming at the moment is basically shit time management. Life happens, right? Just as long as it's not a, hurricane has cut off all power. That's, one issue is a bit more severe than the other. Puzzle Man from Tier 5 comes from. Okay. Before you showed up to be able to tell me that. But Ilvo, you missed a great stream. We were talking about Goon Caves. Now this is a cute little stage full of charm with its sprite work, such as the pop-up enemies that are incredibly hilarious. I especially like the detail of you needing to shoot the X's to get rid of them. Yes, that is good. It could have maybe used maybe a flashing X to highlight that, but it works. Obviously uses Sheepman components. Invulnerable cursor enemies are not as dangerous as they sound, because they're usually out of the way. Yeah. Cheap blocks are used well, especially the descending tower. Just a minor annoyance with how the pop-ups appear before any other enemies on the screen appear, making it possible to completely obstruct them without the player knowing firsthand. Wait, what? Just a minor annoyance with how the pop-ups appear before any other enemies on screen appear, making it possible to completely obstruct them without the... Oh, yeah, so you won't know that there's an enemy actually hiding behind the pop-up. But I think that's kind of the point, so I think that's fine. There seems to be a slight oversight with the lower progressions. You only seem to need 2 key tokens to complete the key, but there were 3 key T tokens. Oops. Disappointing that there's no aforementioned Robot Master at the end, nor are there any boss for that matter. Unfortunate time constraint reasons, I'm sure, but don't be afraid to put a default engine-ready boss. Yeah, it could have worked. Finish work at 5, time to fucking fall asleep until 10 p.m. Haha, you fucked up your sleep schedule. Not me missing the Goon Caves. What a shame. Oh no. Oh, don't deny it. You'd love to be part of that conversation. Talking about Dr. Light's Goon Cave. Anyways, what button am I fucking pressing here? Oh yeah, you I'm sure you also I think you have a clip, right, of Flashman's reaction to Aircon Woman, or not Aircon Woman, Propeller Woman. Yeah, I think that was an L take as well. I didn't quite agree with that one. It was that level was too much. Warning, your level may be infected. Flashbond.exe may have found Malware Man to be infectiously entertaining. The following files are likely causes. Story.fun, music.great, tilework.clean, theming.thoughtful, atmosphere.absorbing, reskinned octopus.mine.creative, boss logo cool, checkpoints appropriate. Oh, dot appropriate. Shit, my bad. Power-ups.useful, tomahawk platforms.good, sheep puzzles.tricky, no boss fight.haha. Pop-up windows have been detected, and they are funny. Recommended action. Adjust some screens to maximize the inherent sneakiness of the pop-ups. For example, the underdeveloped screen to the right of the first token. Make them respawn? That might be a bit much. And pull up one additional type of advertisement to diversify the comedy. Lose weight fast picture of a robot detaching its head from its body. Yeah, that would have been good. Oops. Uh-oh. No! Your graphic settings have recently changed. They are currently set to sickly green and more MS Paint than Mega Man. Some adjustments are recommended for optimal viewing, but if you're happy with these settings, no action is required. Falling files appear to be causing minor damage and should be repaired or deleted. Flying saucers.non-threatening, color differentiation issues.many, action too close to top of screen.often, instant death.too much, final stretch could be more elegant.yes, dual token exit teleporters. Please just one. Two-way transitions.y. A scan of the challenges has been completed. Summary. Token challenges are clearly labeled and part of the narrative, which is appreciated. First key coin should appear sooner, showing players what they're looking for, and that these collectibles can be found on the main path, rather than on a side path, like the other tokens. Things get combined a smidge too early, leaving fewer surprises for later. Some asset interactions, such as the Tomahawk and Sheep token challenge, are inspired. Flashman.exe has stopped working. Your level is now vulnerable to other opinions. Oh man, who needs to install Rontgen.exe? We have Flashman.85.exe. He's clearly the antivirus executable here. Didn't have a highlight to that. It's been so long since I did Copter Woman. Now's your chance to use Magnet Beam. You know, I remember there being some highlight around here that I was like, oh wait, I'll come back to this later once I've actually played it. But yeah, it's Flashman doesn't always have the best opinions. I was pointing out earlier, it's like, I usually agree with a lot of what he says, but every once in a while there's one where it's just like, what the hell are you saying, dude? This doesn't even make sense under, like, you know, by what I think your standards of level judgment are. But that, I don't know, just how it goes. Hey Spark, I must say I'm surprised how well this level turned out, given that the first things you see are obviously memes. To see someone put genuine thought into implementing these things, and having the Aftershock Horror suit the level already elevates the stage compared to anybody else who uses memes in this contest. Memes in quotation marks. You don't have to do that. We all know what a meme is, Spark. It was laser focused. Every element has time to shine, like how the sheepman blocks were just used for a different purpose, from platforming to puzzles and everything in between. Spade token challenge in the room before were good. Stage I first saw a block where Liana was playing as proxy. The pop-ups were a rather interesting use of a screen blocker. I grasped how they acted at first, firmly grasped it. But was on the Wadden watching, and he, the player, just didn't. That said, there are a couple of places where these combined very well with both the enemies and other gimmicks you choose to use. Let's see. Removing them in a limited time frame or hiding trapped enemies that the player could easily activate by mistake. I also really like the cursor reskin that changed the attack pattern. Well, I think it got a little bit frustrating. Sometimes it doesn't really time out well with the Tomahawk Man platforms. Checkpoint placement could have been a little bit better. The level involves a lot of waiting around. There's quite a bit of instant death near the end. Gets a bit annoying. Do feel a bit let down by the lack of an ending after all of the build-up. A stage does not need to have a boss to finish. I think that a fast-paced auto-scrolling section here using the gimmicks you developed over the stage would have been a far better ending. The joke didn't, like, fall flat, but you did need a better segment beforehand. I didn't see it as a joke. I don't know. It felt like he was talking shit and actually getting ready for a fight, but I guess he was just talking shit and didn't want to get hit. Fairly small nitpicks over a stage that was thoroughly enjoyed, bringing the right kind of simple humor to well-thought-out gameplay and interesting challenges. Wow! These are really becoming novels by the end. Complaining about making 2 token teleports at the bottom of the pit is such a bizarre complaint. I could understand it from the playtester's perspective because of the fact where it's like, well, what if one teleporter goes another direction? It's just kind of unnecessary. I think it was also confusing. I was tempted to maybe go back down to use that second teleporter, but I also figured I have the collectible. That's a waste of my time. But, you know, it could leave a door open that maybe shouldn't be open. So I do agree on that one. I could maybe take off 1 point for the functionality on that. Who knows that memes are the DNA of the soul? Anybody playing this game probably does. I mean, hell, memes are the DNA of this game, too. We already had the bell in the movie theater saying that they follow around a certain person who just, you know, needs to make sound whenever they don't agree with something on screen. Spark really wants you to understand the power of the memes featuring Knuckles. True. Stains of Time starts playing, I'm gonna head out. I think Streams of Time starts playing, I'm gonna stay in this stream for even longer. But speaking of length, though, we are nearing 3 hours. I have a job to go to tomorrow, so I'm gonna thank everybody for showing up for, you know, Tier 14 today. We got through quite a few levels here. We're almost at the top 15 at this point, so I will see everyone tomorrow for the next part of this tier. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for good luck at job. It will do all right. I will do all good. Be fun, interesting talking to you. I'm glad you found me interesting, and you know, hope you enjoy the content in the future. Good night, Tri-State area. Looking forward to getting piped next stream. All right, you're banned from the next stream. Bye.